I'll give you the words that worked for me. If there's something that you want in life, if there's something that you're working towards, or if you're unhappy with your current situation, be as intentional as humanly possible. Assess yourself, assess your situation, your surroundings, the food that you're eating, the people that you're hanging out with, the drinks that you're drinking, the movies that you're watching, the music that you're listening to. Everything is your diet. So diet beyond food. Diet is everything that I just named, because you determine your quality of your own life. You know, life is happening for you, not to you, but you have to help yourself. So if you have friends that when you hang out with, all you do is stupid stuff and it's getting you further away from the person that you want to be, you need to have maybe some difficult decisions there and some difficult conversations and move further away from those friends. If you're unhappy with your body, maybe you need to go join a gym and you need to pay closer attention to what you're eating or how much you're eating. You need to start being intentional about the foods that you consume. You know, like, it's really simple. It's really simple when you break it down as everything in your life is either helping you maximize your potential and being the best version of yourself, or it's hurting you and it's getting you further away from that. And your ultimate goal before you leave here should be to maximize your potential as a person and as a human being. So do things that help you and be intentional about it and be honest with yourself. That's all I got for you.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Isaiah Ortiz Show. I hope you guys are all doing well. If you're new here, please make sure to go down below and subscribe if you haven't already. You can follow us on Instagram, Spotify, TikTok, and Apple. All the links will be down below. And for our guest, somebody that I'm honestly happy we have on. This is somebody I've been wanting to have on for a while now, and we finally made it happen. And first off, as you could tell, we're at the Freehold Township gym, and it just doesn't feel real that I'm an alumni now. It doesn't really make much sense, but this is pretty cool that we're doing it live here, so shout out to our guests for making that happen. But for the intro, so behind every successful team are the people who rarely get the headlines, the coaches who invest countless hours developing players, building relationships, and shaping young men long before the lights come on. Today's guest is one of those people. He's the assistant varsity coach and JV head coach at Freehold Township. He's the founder of Rise and Grind AAU, a respected mentor and a sports broadcaster who's experienced the game at every level. So we have on the show Coach Dylan Burns. Welcome to the show, man. How's life been?
Life is good. Life is good, and I appreciate that intro. And
Yes,
welcome the both of you to the Freehold Township Alumni Club.
Oh man, nah, don't say that.
Yeah,
I'm not ready yet.
It's a whole different ball game out here now.
Yeah.
Obviously, it only gets better. It only gets better, and what you guys are doing right now, obviously graduating high school with a vision and a plan, it puts you a few steps ahead of a lot of other people. So good for you guys. This is awesome.
Thank you,
and thank you for having me.
Absolutely, yeah. Just getting started. Thank you for having us at the gym. This is like, for somebody that does media, like, you know, media guys know that when you get something like this, it's amazing. So my first one to start it off, for people watching this episode who only know you from what they see online, how would you describe to them who you are every day?
I'm somebody that is just fortunate enough to be in a position to chase my dream of being a broadcaster while doing things that I love, like coaching basketball. I kind of know exactly what I want to do, and I have sort of figured out a way to make it work on the way to getting to where I hopefully, end up. I've got a lot of people who are supportive. I've got a lot of people who believe in me, that allow me the flexibility to do all these different things that I enjoy doing, that I love doing. So first and foremost, I try to be the best friend that I can. I try to be the best brother that I can. I try to be the best son that I can, first, second, and third. I try to be the best basketball coach that I can for the kids who come play for me, and the parents who trust me with their kids. And all the broadcasting stuff is just something that I'm really passionate about, and that is all kind of house money. Those are the things that I think I was naturally good at, and just kind of leaned into a little bit, and I'm trying to make a career out of it.
Man, music to my ears, man. When like I hear that passionate talk and just it's exactly how I am. You know, when you're gifted at something, you know, why would you quit it? That's what I always tell people when it comes to me as well. So he literally could relate to that. But so when did your love for basketball begin? Like I know you love the sport so much, and I'm assuming you started when you were young, but you could explain that.
Sure. I've loved the game of basketball for as long as I can remember. The movie Space Jam is honestly probably like the reason why I'm sitting in the gym with you right now, the reason why I'm coaching here, and the reason why I'm pursuing the things that I'm pursuing right now. So I was, the movie is a couple of years older than me, so I've literally only known life with the movie Space Jam in my life. But when I was a little kid, I used to idolize Michael Jordan. I used to make my mom actually call me Michael Jordan. I wouldn't answer to Dylan.
Wow.
I would have her call me Michael Jordan. And that's really where my love, that's the foundation of my love of the game. My dad would always take me to like Modell's on Fridays and go
real
get
ones remember
basketball jerseys.
Modell's, bro.
That's
real ones remember Modell's.
Showing my age a little bit. Shout out to Modell's. But I always used to have jerseys. Like that was like I used to wear jerseys every single day to school. So I was in love with sports from a young age, just based on the exposure to the movies, to live games. I was always watching with my dad, and my dad keeping me decked out in some really cool stuff. So that's really where it all started, and then playing, and then coaching, you know, and broadcasting have only, you know, allowed the different perspectives and the different angles and the approaches to the game that I love. And so I've just, you know, sort of figured out that there's not too much room in the NBA for 5'7" guys that look like me.
Not
so
too
I
many.
just like
Not too many.
found ways to stay in the game. But it all starts with Space Jam.
Yeah. It's crazy you mentioned jerseys because now, 2026, you rarely see somebody wearing a jersey in school. And it's just, that's honestly kind of a shame, but hopefully you'll get back to that. Because I remember even when I was younger, you know, people wear jerseys all the time. But
it was a big thing in high school, man. When I was
Yeah.
here in
See,
2000, I graduated from Freehold Township in 2013, and it was still a thing.
Man,
It was back when like
2013.
AliExpress started blowing up and all these jerseys coming from China, the off-brand ones. So people were coming to school with like the craziest jerseys
month to
ever.
ship.
You'd see a Bobby Boucher jersey in the hallway. Like it was pretty fun.
You mentioned 2013. Like, does the school look the same to you? 'Cause that's a long time. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Honestly, it's very different. It's very different.
Okay.
Just kind of the culture changed a little bit. What's allowed and what's not allowed. The type of student is different. I don't know if that's just me getting older and looking at things with a different perspective.
Yeah.
But you know, it's been cool, but it's still. I can't stress it enough. I don't look back on this and this place and have any negative emotion or negative feelings or wish that I never came here. And even now, as somebody, I'm like half in and half out of the building. I'm not working here full time. I'm a basketball coach.
Yeah, you'll be around.
But nobody should be leaving here like, oh, forget this place. I'm so glad I'm out of here. Because you're so lucky that you come to a school every day where teachers care, administrators care, and people are here for you and not against you, no matter how much, you know, you may think that might be the case where a teacher is out to get you. You never know. They might be having a bad day. They're human too. But at the end of the day, the people in this building are really here for the right reasons. And it's a really, you know, fortunate is the word that comes to mind that I grew up here and now I'm able to give back. And, you know, students are lucky to be a part of the Freehold Township community, whether they realize it or not.
100%. People, you know, this is a good school, whether people like it or not. Like, you got to be grateful and things like that. Did you always know that your life would end up leading to coaching and mentoring, you know, something you wanted to do? Because for me, I have a big character trait of impacting and seeing people thrive. Like, that's just how it's been for me. And I played sports myself when I was younger, and you know, I would say talented, as much as people may say that's, you know, whatever. But I always knew no matter what, all roads would lead to me doing this. So would you say the same for coaching and all that?
With a little perspective, yes. And some hindsight, yes. It seemed like all paths were really leading to this place. And I'm pretty excited about where I think they're going as well. But growing up, I had no idea that I would ever coach. Even in college, I had no interest until after college. I was honestly just looking for ways to hustle and make a few extra bucks, and I saw an opening for travel basketball, and I put in for it. And I had played travel basketball in Freehold, and it was something that I was proud of and wanted to give back. And I always felt like I kind of had a really strong basketball education. I actually grew up in Colts Neck, and I learned the game from Coach Piccola, who was a legendary coach in New York City, and then moved over here. Wow. And then I came to Freehold Township, and I played for Coach Smith, and I played for Coach Golub. And I really felt like I left high school with like a master's degree in basketball, whether I realized it or not. Wow. And then going to college, obviously I knew I wasn't going to be a college basketball player, but I wanted to stay involved in some capacity. But I was friends with guys on the team. And even playing like intramural basketball, I was like telling teammates what to do and stuff. And they were like sarcastically calling me coach, like basically telling me to shut up. But I was right. Like I knew what I was seeing and what, we needed to do to be successful.
I've heard that before.
And so, the short answer is no. I never really expected to be here. But in hindsight, it kind of makes sense just based off of the information that I've retained over the years and kind of my personality. It was, it all seemed to work out.
Would you say if, with the skills you have, if you were like, let's say 6'5", you'd be in the league?
No, absolutely not.
What? I thought you were going to say yeah.
No, listen, I'll still die on this hill.
Nah, he's tough, bro.
I'm the best shooter in every gym that Steph Curry's not in. Like, I am still the best shooter in every gym that I walk into.
I believe that.
But there's so much more than just having,
you're right.
The ability to do one thing on a basketball court, I think people look at somebody that can only shoot or somebody that can only go score or somebody that just, is fast. And there's so much more to basketball than just being able to do one or two things. It's like, can you make people better? Can you make the right decision at the right time? Are you somebody that your teammates want to play with? Like all of that matters. There's so many talented guys that aren't in the NBA on the planet right now who are NBA talent, but for some reason or another, it's a business too, and you're investing millions of dollars into people more than players almost sometimes, depending on how good you are. Mm-hmm. But if I was 6'5", no, I would not be in the NBA. Would it have mattered? For sure. For sure. It would have made a difference probably here, but I don't know about much beyond that.
No, yeah. I mean, you have the G League overseas, so it's tough. What happened?
Sure.
Oh, the cameraman got a question.
They're saying there's limits to what you could do, like athletically, like if you were 6'5".
Me personally?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if just because I'm 6'5", all of a sudden I'm going to start jumping through the roof or anything like that. Like I've never had hops ever in my life.
Some people don't even have hops.
Lateral quickness has not always been a strength of mine. But who knows? With a different frame, maybe, I saw more potential in myself. I was always comfortable shooting because I wasn't getting off the ground, getting to the glass or anything like that and finishing around the rim. So I kind of figured out a way that I can make myself useful and created value for myself on the court and figured it out from there. So, of course, with a different frame, but it's not something that keeps me up at night. And I'm not like, if only, I was 6'5", then this, that, the other. Like, no, I like to believe that I found a way to compete with people who are 6'5".
Yeah.
With my, 5'6" and 3/4 frame.
Yeah, man. I was gonna ask, who were your biggest influences like growing up?
Ooh, in what regard?
So, I would say just outside of sports more. So, I guess more of your life.
Okay.
I would say.
I'll be honest. I don't think I've ever had anybody who was my quote-unquote idol or my quote-unquote role model.
Okay.
There was never really anybody that I looked up to. There have been people who have helped me out big time. As far as making me kind of like, for lack of a better term, grow up and mature at a faster rate than I was. Like, I'll shoot you straight. When I was here, I was a knucklehead, big time.
Wow.
I think
the
word unintentional is the word about how I kind of went about things. I went to Freehold Town. I went here to hang out with my friends and play basketball. I wasn't really a great student or anything like that. But I'll never forget my first year here as a freshman. One day I was acting like a knucklehead, and somebody kind of pulled me aside and was like, "Yo, you're the conversation around you is that you're being a knucklehead. Who do you want to be known as? And that person is Dave Patterson. Mr. Patterson teaches statistics over here.
Shout out to him. Shout out to Riley
He's
too.
a girls soccer coach. He's one of the best. He's New Jersey college, New Jersey coaching Hall of Fame. Just butchered that, but New Jersey coaching Hall of Famer. But yeah, he pulled me aside one day. Him and I had a relationship going back to my Barcelo days, where he was the 6th and 7th grade Barcelo coach.
Wow, and he went to
I
Barcelo
was an 8th
too.
grader. Yeah, man.
Wow, shout out. Hey, man, Barcelo alumni right here.
Yeah. And so that 6th, 7th grade team, they were good. Our 8th grade team was not great, and our season ended before theirs, and they invited 8th graders to come back and still practice. And it was me and a buddy of mine. We were the only two to come back and practice with the younger guys. We put our ego aside, and we were like, you know what? It's an opportunity to get better. And that's where, I developed a relationship with Mr. Patterson, and kind of, he got to know me on a personal level a little bit more, and I got to know what he was all about. I learned that he was an excellent coach and an excellent person. And so when I got to Freehold Township the next year, and I was, not acting the way that I should have acted, he pulled me aside and was like, dude, you don't have to be this person. I kind of have an idea who you are. Clean up your act, because you're going to get a reputation of being a knucklehead, and I don't think you want that. Yeah. And that was the one that stood out from an early point in my high school career. And then Coach Smith is the other one. I've known Coach Smith since I was 5 years old.
Wow.
When I was going to basketball camp at the Colts Neck High School, Coach Smith was 22 years old at the time. Yeah. I'm talking we go back, Mm-hmm. And there have been a number of times in my 4 years in high school and even beyond that he really reached out to me to make sure that I was doing the right things and that I was okay, and that if I ever needed anything that, he reassured that he had my back. And so those two specifically, from a young age, have really had my back and have been there for me and kind of pulled me aside and gave me wake-up calls that I needed. And then, even older, and I know I'm getting a little long-winded here in my answer, but it's the truth.
Nah, you're good.
As an adult, man, I Coach Golub has been an awesome friend to me. And if you would have told me 10 years ago, or longer than that now, when I was playing here, that, I'd be golfing with Coach Golub and going to family important life events with the guy, I'd be like, yeah, okay. But he's turned into a great person. So when I say, people here in this building have really influenced my life, those are the main three probably.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask about Smith and Golub eventually, but so I'm sure at some point you knew coaching was just gonna be more than just a hobby. So something you were gonna devote majority of time to. So what moment did you realize that? And then describe your first coaching experience. I feel like you throw them in the fire, see how they act.
Sure. So even when I was a player here, Coach Golub and Coach Smith were always really adamant on driving home the point that they're teaching life lessons through basketball. That's really what our program is about. It's really about a lot more than just winning and losing on the court. If you play basketball here at Freehold Township, you're getting a lesson in how to deal with adversity, how to fight through difficult times, how to hold yourself accountable, how to be held accountable, how to work hard, how to work harder, how to do tough things mentally and physically. And it's kind of one of those things, if you can play for us here, you can play for anybody anywhere. Mm-hmm. So it's always been about life lessons through basketball. So before I even coached here, I kind of knew what I was getting into. But there's really nothing that prepares you for the wake-up call of the impact that you have on young players' lives. So my first introduction to coaching basketball was being a camp counselor from when I was 14 years old. I was a basketball camp counselor, but then I was a travel basketball coach, and I was 21 coaching 5th and 6th grade basketball. And kind of just every single day in practice and then in games, you walk a kid through trying something new and failing. What are you going to do? Get on the kid for messing it up the first time, or pick him up and build his confidence and push him back into the fire and figure it out?
That's
you
real.
know what I mean?
That's real.
You fell down, get up, go figure it out. Yeah. Here's what you did well. Here's what you're trying to do. That's great. Don't stop trying. Try it like this, and then helping them out along the way. And it's about more than basketball. You're going to do things in life. You're going to fall on your face. And it's all about what you do after that. I'm big on. I get all preachy. It's just.
I like it though.
I
like
do.
it.
It is what it is. It's just part of me.
That's how I am too.
In my answers, they're long, and I kind of do it in practice. I try not to, but it's like, I remind the guys all the time. You make one bad play that lasts about 5 seconds in a basketball game. There are 32 minutes in a game. You're going to let 5 seconds ruin the next 31 minutes and 55 seconds? Like, no. You wake up and you have a bad morning. You have a crappy hour to start your day. You're going to let that ruin the next 23 hours of your day? You know what I mean? Like, in big picture, you have a bad month of your life. You're going to let that ruin the next 50 years? Like, life is 1% what happens to you and 99% your reaction. That's going to determine the quality of your life. And that you can teach that through basketball. Like, there are opportunities to teach that through the game of basketball. And that's really what it's about. So, just getting thrown right into it has really been the eye-opener. There was nothing that was going to get me ready for that.
That's the definition of a mentor right there, man. Literally, like
it's corny, but it's the truth.
No, it is. Like, I like that passion, and you know what I mean. That's what it is. But what was I gonna say? Oh my goodness. Wow, I slipped out of my thought. We'll just ask the next question because I was about to say something else as soon as I said after the mentor. But
you're good.
Yeah, that's what people need, though. You know what I mean? That type of mentality. But so you've been coaching for some time, and you've accomplished, I'm sure, plenty of goals. But when you take a look at the bigger picture, what kind of coach do you strive to be going forward? And what coach did you want to be? Maybe at first that maybe you changed up as time went on.
I got to be honest. I think I was a better coach when I didn't think I had all the answers. And I still don't. But it was almost like when I was just doing it and not thinking about it, I think I was a better coach in my early years. I almost think I was a better coach when I didn't know what I was doing, when I was just kind of doing my job without really thinking about it or overly thinking about it. On the court is one thing. I've won a bunch of games. I've lost a few games, and that's all great. And there have been some fun game winners, and there have been some close losses. There have been some bad losses. There have been some blowouts, and all that is fun. And that's what the guys will remember. But it's kind of like one of those things where it's like you won't always remember the wins and losses, but you remember how you felt when you were playing. And a lot of the guys that used to play for me that I see now in life that are graduating college, who are now being, adults and productive members of society, but they'll come back and they'll say hello to me, and they see me and they're not avoiding me. There's no weirdness or animosity. It's kind of like, now that they're older and more mature, we're not hanging out, don't get me wrong, but we're friends, and I'll say hello, and it's like, they think fondly of playing for me and all that stuff. And the relationship that I have with my former players, I think, is the measure of the job that I'm doing here. And I can't say that there is anybody that's ever put on the uniform for me that I would ever avoid, or not look forward to seeing, or that I'm not rooting for, in life. And that's it. And the greatest compliment that I get is when a kid will tell me, the most fun that I ever had was playing for you. Or my favorite years of basketball was playing for you. Or parents that will say, the most I've ever seen my kid have fun, or the most I've ever enjoyed watching my son or daughter play basketball was when they were playing for you. And I think that really is a better measure of what I'm doing here than any win or loss. It's the relationships that you form with your players.
Absolutely. I remember what I was going to say before. I have plenty of clips I could use because this man right here, the wisdom that he gives with every answer, it's just, this is exactly why I wanted him to be on the show. So for all you guys watching, look at the answers, man. It's this is exactly what I try and do, the deep type of bro, trust me. It's you either have it or you don't. It's that simple.
It means something to me. It really does. I don't take it for granted. And I'm just grateful to be in a position where people trust me to put them in the best position to be successful. That's my job.
That's exactly what
beyond
I want to do.
Basketball is a plus, but it's if you can.
It's about life.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
literally. So I wanted to talk about other coaches in general, but more basketball related. So
Sure.
you take a look at great coaches. I could go through a list right now. Dan Hurley,
Yeah.
Coach K, Greg Popovich. When you take a look at them, what separates the great ones from the good coaches?
Sure. First, going back to the answer that I just kind of gave a little bit, it's the ability to connect with your players. That's first and foremost, because if your players don't trust you that you're in it for their best interests, then you have nothing, right? There's nothing that will get them to buy into what you're trying to get them to do. So that's first and foremost. They're all great at developing meaningful relationships with their players. And I think the other separator is every coach and every player wants to win. And they have the will to win for the most part. Some people think that they want to win, but don't know how to go about it. It's the will to prepare to win. So putting yourself in the best position and putting your players in the best position to win with the prep, which watching film, which scouting your own practices, scouting your own games, and putting yourself and your team and your program in the best position to be successful. The will to prepare to win is huge. So that's really it, man. Like it's these kids here at Township should know that what Coach Smith and Coach Golub have done and laid the foundation here is not normal. It's not normal to have a program at a public school. And just my perspective, I didn't really appreciate it when I was a player here, but now being on the coaching side of it,
I'm telling you,
I've never
man.
seen anybody prepare to win more than Coach Smith. Like, these kids are in a position to be successful every single day in practice, and every single time we hit the court. There's a game plan, and it's intentional, and it's purposeful, and it's watched through like 5 different like his level of preparation. I ask him all the time, I'm like, why aren't you, like, do you have no desire to coach at a higher level? Because his brain is wired for that. It really is.
Said it better than me, man.
All these greats, they're prepared. They care. They care about the people and the players beyond just the people on the team and the coaches on the staff. Like, we care about the custodians who set up the gym before every single game. We care about our trainer. We care about the other people in the building. We care about the people in our players' lives. Like, it's so much bigger than just on the court. And when you have people like that in a position to make decisions and in a position to influence, that's when you're really set up for success.
He said it better than me. Like, now that I've been doing media, really, I would say this past season, I would say the year before that, but I was so bad at media. But now, when I'm improving, and I see, especially in football too with Coach Smith, but basketball as well, just how dedicated they are. Like, no joke. I know Gen Z is going to be like, oh, you're glazing. But when I go to these other games that Township does not play in, I literally see them there scouting or I guess taking notes, whatever. Coach Smith has the whole thing like in his hand. So I'm telling you, like, these and Coach Golub, like, I don't even know the right word to say, but all I can say is legendary. Literally, like, I'm telling you,
it's the right word. It really is. I mean,
like,
the banners are down right now because they're working on the gym.
Oh, okay.
But like, you look at our basketball banner, and we've got more division titles than any 4 schools combined in our district. Like,
wow.
Not CBA doesn't count. They're non-public, and they
CBA don't count. CBA don't count.
There's a reason for that, and it's because of the time, the dedication, and the genuine care for the players and the parents and the siblings and the employees in this build. Like, there's just so much genuine care. It's not easy to build a program. Like, you know what you're getting into every single time you play Freehold Township. That's not the same at every single school. You know, and what Coach Golub and Coach Smith have built here, it's unbelievable. It really is.
Yeah, I'm sure teams, when they face Township, they know they're, getting into something. We'll talk about that, but they care about the game so much. It's like, this is another reason why I want to have them on. Like, I just know when it comes to basketball, like, the minds of Coach Burns, Coach Golub, and Smith, I just know it's just like, it's really different. But so in your opinion, what's the biggest mistake coaches make with young athletes? Because I see videos online of, coaches, they'll air out certain topics about athletes or parents and certain people doing it wrong or whatever. I'm not really sure what they mean by that, but I know there has to be some sort of divide there at times. So what do you make about that?
Yeah, I don't know. It's tough to pinpoint any one, but I would say one mistake that a lot of coaches make is making it about themselves. It's never, if I win a basketball game, it doesn't make me the greatest coach on the planet. If I lose a basketball game, I'm not the worst on the planet. Like there are so many coaches out here who are so ego-driven and make it all about themselves, and they only care about winning and losing, and that determines like so much of their approach to everything else. Like it's just, man, like so many people lose sight of what this is all really about.
Absolutely, yeah.
I'm a big believer in, like, you win and lose based on the progress that you make, and there's so much that goes into progress. It's broken down on a day-to-day basis. But any coach that comes into, only caring about winning and losing, and they don't care about what they do to a kid in order to get there, whether that's picking a kid up and putting another kid down or vice versa, whatever it is. But I think any coach that makes it about themselves, that's the biggest mistake that they can make.
I was going to ask you about AAU, but I guess a short question and answer is this may not be a short answer, honestly, because it's a lot. But a lot of basketball coaches, I think some of them may not take the mantle of doing what people like you and Golub doing, is really detailed and taking all that time. Does that ever get overwhelming and stressful to where it could really take a toll and kind of mess up where you originally were thinking at first about game plans or?
I don't know about messing it up or
just does it ever take does it you put too much information in your brain, it could slip away type of thing? Is it like that or?
Well, there's just always so much to be teaching, especially at a young age, where these kids are genuinely a blank slate. So that's why our whole approach is, if I have to coach your effort, then that takes away from us getting to coach basketball. So you give us effort, and we'll help you become a better basketball player. And that's the same approach that we've had here that we took over to Team Rise and Grind. Team Rise and Grind is run like a high school basketball program. It's run like a college basketball program where we are always, always, always teaching. And the conversations that we're having aren't, what tournament can we go win or what cool social media campaign can we go put out? Or, what do you want to put on ChatGPT to highlight, so-and-so having 30 points over at Sportica? That's
a lot of people do that.
It's how do we put these kids in a better position to win and get better and learn the game? That's really what it's about. And it's so different in AAU and travel, where these teams and these kids go to practice for 1 hour a week and maybe 4 kids show up. In high school, we're here 6 days a week, 3 hours a day. That's you're going to see a big difference. 18 hours a week, or oh my God, I just botched that. 50, yeah, what?
15,
15,
18, yeah, close.
50 or 6 days a week, 3 hours. I'm all right. 18 hours a week versus the 1 hour a week. You know what I mean? And I think the biggest difference between AAU and high school basketball is there's just so much practice, and there's so much learning, and there's so much competitiveness in practice that the game is easy. We practice is hard, so the game is easy. That's one of our mottos. And I think AAU kind of flipped that on its head, where a lot of kids are just one-on-one training, where they're not learning to play with 9 other people on the court. So people think that basketball is just passing the ball around the three-point line, okay, now you go one-on-one and you go one-on-one. Like Shannon Sharp said it, we're losing recipes, right? We lost the art of basketball somewhere along the way, and I think a lot of that is how we're teaching it at a youth level, which is AAU, and a lot of kids are playing on 2, 3, and 4 teams, and all they're doing is playing games, but they're not learning how to perform in games. They're not learning how to make the correct decision at the correct time at a high speed and a high level in game. And so that's kind of the approach that we've taken here at Team Rise and Grind and at Freehold Township is we try to put you in difficult situations and learning situations in practice so that the games are kind of like we rep out the things that we learn in practice versus, we get sped up or we get overwhelmed in a game because we're unprepared. Like, that's never the case. That's never the case.
Yeah, he definitely answered a lot of my questions about his program, which I like because a lot of people, they know AAU in high school, completely different things.
It's completely different.
Yeah.
And AAU is nothing. All these, so.
Yeah, but you make a little response. Put this as a clip. No.
AAU started out as a recruitment tool. Okay. It used to be you play AAU because you want to be a college basketball player. Now it's I want to play and my friends want to play, so let's go make a team. So the pool of players has never been larger, and the pool of coaches has never been larger. So the way the game is being taught and played naturally is going to change with all these different approaches and different, but the fundamentals have never changed. From the youth level to the NBA level. Look at the Knicks. Are they doing anything
Great
otherworldly?
example.
No. They share the ball, they cut, they move, they screen, and they make the right play at the right time. The Warriors, almost 10 years ago now, were doing the same thing. They pass, they cut, they know when to do what. They're making the right decisions at the right time. Like that's basketball. That's the game. It's nothing, it's not rocket science. It's not who's the best one-on-one player. That never works. It doesn't. It hasn't and it won't.
Yeah, I've seen, your Instagram videos about the Knicks.
Oh,
so I don't, maybe we'll have to do like because he currently, you have a practice, so maybe we'll have to do a part 2. I don't know. But I was going to ask about that, but I have so many questions to where
yeah, I got you.
But because I don't know if I should, man, you think I should ask it about the Knicks or just skip it? Go ahead. We're gonna have to sacrifice a question.
We got 12 minutes. We're good.
Yeah. All right. So about the Knicks, just because I know he's a basketball savant, I know he's gonna have all the answers. I'm excited to hear it. But the Knicks finals run, nobody they do have a really good roster, and I don't know why people were so shocked that they made it that far, the East and all that. And so actually I have a 2-part question. So I want to talk about the Knicks finals run and their whole squad, and then talk about LeBron going to Philly.
Okay.
That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to say anything else about LeBron. That's it.
So there's one word to describe this Knicks finals run, and that's historic. It's historic, okay? No matter how big of a hater you are, because that's really what you are at this point. If you're denying or not giving any credit to the Knicks for what they did this postseason, it's because you're a hater. Because they lost 2 games to Atlanta by 1 point each, right? 1 point each.
True.
They lost 1 game to the Spurs by 4. Bro, they went 16-3 in the playoffs. That is the best basketball on the planet. On the planet is NBA playoff basketball. They lost 3 games by a margin of 6 points. By 6 points.
Better than the Warriors.
They had the best point differential in NBA history. And you want to say, they only played so-and-so. They played the Sixers who were old and hurt. Okay, great. They dismantled the Sixers. They played the Cavs, and okay, great. They dismantled the Cavs. Yeah. They played the Hawks. They dismantled the Hawks. It's not like they were even competitive on the road to the finals, okay?
Yeah, that's true.
And they got better as the postseason went on. And every single time that their backs were against the wall, you saw guys like Landry Shamet step up. He won them a game versus Cleveland. You saw guys like Jose Alvarado won them a game in the NBA Finals. Even going back to the regular season, Tyler Kolek won them a game on Christmas Day versus the Cavs. Tyler Kolek won them the NBA Cup championship versus the Spurs. Mo Diawara stepped up when people were hurt throughout the season. Every single time somebody on that roster needed to step up, someone stepped up. And that's the making of a true championship roster. And so they were the ultimate team throughout the season. Through the highs and lows, it was different guys at different points in the season. Throughout the playoffs, it was different guys at different points in the playoffs. So this is one of the best teams ever. Ever. I don't care how you want to put it. This Knicks team was historic, What they did may never be seen again, and you got to give credit where credit is due. From the top all the way to the players, from ownership down to the last guy on that bench, everybody did their job, and that is why they won in the fashion that they did. LeBron to the Sixers.
Ooh, let's hear it.
He's trying to be the savior in Philly. They have this long drought. I think 1983 was the last time the Sixers won the NBA Finals. And the reason why he's not a Knick is because the Knicks won, and now he would have gotten blamed if they didn't win again, versus now he's going to be the reason why the Sixers won. So it's all narrative.
Okay.
But he gets to be a facilitator. That team is a pretty damn good roster, at least the starting five. And they got some guys off the bench. They got Ariel Hockporty. And they got bodies. They got guys that can do some things. They're going to be competitive in an Eastern Conference. I don't know what they're going to get out of Joel Embiid, but LeBron James and Jaylen Brown make any team better. So they're going to be competitive, and they're all automatically contenders in the East.
Yeah, I'm excited to see that, man. Probably 2 more years left, and unfortunately he's going to be gone. But so I want to talk about Township now, really get into it.
Sure.
But before, real quick, about Coach Smith. So how do you think your personalities complement each other? Because I know you probably have similar to him. I don't know how to really explain it, but you guys are very passionate, and sometimes that could rub off the wrong way to an extent with players and things like that. And I've seen it in football. Coach Smith, get a little upset, but I was gonna say crash out, but that's not nowhere.
It might look like that. That's
it's
almost fair.
Yeah,
it's almost fair.
No. Look, I don't know. I'm not speaking for any of the players.
We all do it.
Yeah,
So
just explain
honestly,
the mad stuff.
If this is part of what I said earlier, back when I played for Coach Smith and Coach Golub, if you would have told me that I'm friends with these guys as an adult, I would have called you crazy. But getting to know them on a personal level beyond just coaching, Coach Smith and I have always been cool since I was a young kid. Coach Golub and I, when I was in high school, not so much. After college, when I got to know him, sure, absolutely. And the common denominator is genuine care for the players. The common denominator is being an ultimate competitor, And so now that I'm saying this, watch for it next time. If you ever watch when myself, when Coach Smith, when Coach Golub do get animated, when we crash out, it's usually because the effort and the intensity isn't where it needs to be successful.
I've seen that.
We don't lose our minds over missed shots. We don't lose our minds over turnovers. We don't lose our mind over physical mistakes. It's mental mistakes that really there's no excuse for, because that's usually laziness and lack of effort. And when we lack effort, we're not in the best position to be successful. And when we lack effort, you're letting yourself down, you're letting your teammates down. And honestly, think about it, even a bigger picture. You think your parents want to come watch you jog up and down the court and not try?
Yeah.
That's where we really get on our players, is when you're not putting forth an effort that it takes to be successful. So just keep that in mind now that I'm saying it.
No, yeah, I have. I've always realized as I watch these games and I look more into, Coach Smith, getting mad. It's not really what people think. It's because he really does and it will be for justified. Somebody will make a bad thing or whatever, but
and what people don't see is for every negative there's almost always 2 positives.
I see that, yeah.
Yes, we make a conscious effort. If there's going to be a negative, there's got to be a positive. So if somebody, makes a steal and smokes a layup and they jog back on defense, the first thing that's getting addressed is you better sprint back. If you make a mistake, you better be the first one back on defense.
Or sub.
Great effort, don't stop attacking, don't worry about the miss, go make the next one. You know what I mean? We're always picking up our players if we're going to give them a negative or give them a reason, where we get animated with them. And it might not always be in front of everybody. So that's why people get the wrong impression. You might see myself get on my player on the court, but what you don't see is after the game or at halftime or in the locker room when all of us are together and we're talking, I'm going to pick my guys back up. I'm never going to put them down and put my foot on them. That is never the case with any of our coaches.
Yeah, so this past season, opener against RBC, which some people would say was unexpected when they saw that, and I'm sure you'll explain that, and then making it to the final round in the WOBM tourney, the quarterfinals in the Shore Conference, against Manasquan, that one was a great one. And then losing to Hillsborough and States, which that was very competitive when I was there as well. So talk to me about the season overall, the highs and lows, starting with RBC. What went wrong in the fourth quarter versus RBC?
Sure. So it was a while ago, so I got to think back to it. But you
guys had the lead at first.
Flat out blew an 11-point lead on opening night here in our home gym, and that's always unacceptable. And, the first people we're going to blame are ourselves for maybe we could have done something better to put our kids in a better position to be successful. But you got to give credit to where credit is due. RBC started lighting it up in the second half. They got hot from beyond the arc. They made the shots that they needed to make. They made the plays that they needed to make. We flat out went cold, which happened a bunch of times throughout the season, especially offensively, and that's why we lean so much into our defense because, offense comes and goes. There are going to be some times where you can't hit every single shot or you're just flat out having a tough day, but your effort defensively always puts you in a good position if you stop them from scoring. But, flat out, I don't know if we weren't ready to win or it was, I don't want to take anything away from what RBC did,
Yeah, no,
they flat out did what they needed to do to grind out a tough game, and we didn't make enough plays down the stretch. And in years past, we had a guy like Nick Cardone who would step up when we needed him to.
Yep.
He's a winner and a competitor, and he wanted the ball in those big moments. He was going to guard the best player for 4 quarters. He was going to take the last shot, whether it went in or not. And I think a lot of our learning curve early on in the season was figuring out how this is all going to work and who's going to step up in these big moments and things like that.
I will say you guys did turn it up, though. Like, the WOBM was right after that. And you guys went on a win streak.
Right after that, we were kind of like, okay, that's a game that we shouldn't have lost, and let's make sure that that doesn't happen again. And then we got hot. And you saw us playing some awesome basketball up until the WOBM.
Making me think you guys are going to win it all.
Situation. And that's a Wall team, man, that was outstanding. That Wall team was great last year. Wow. I mean, that a lot of high school sports across the board, too, is about who makes less mistakes, and that's a Wall team that was not going to beat themselves, ever, on any given night. So when you're playing against a team like that, the margins are thin. And then after the Wall, Cole got hurt. Cole missed some time, and that was huge. Cole does so many things that makes us all go. Cole can be a scorer when we need him to be. He's a rebounder. He's a facilitator when he wants to be. And he impacts the game in so many ways. He's kind of that guy that makes everything work for us. So losing Cole was a big part of the lull that we took in the middle of the season, but it was an opportunity for different guys to get different looks at different positions. Sam took on a bigger role. John took on a bigger role. Dakota, Amari, all these guys who may not have had the ball in their hands as much with Cole on the floor. And all it did was get us better for the later part of the season when Cole came back and we kind of got back to our true form.
Yeah, how do you feel about Amari, one of your best rising stars, announcing that he's transferring? And I also heard from people, well, I don't know, this might not be accurate, but Coach Smith saying, you're not allowed to leave. And I know the answer now, actually, but I won't say how I know.
It wasn't Coach Smith telling him that he wasn't allowed to leave. It was Coach Smith letting him know what the rules of reclassing are.
Yeah.
So that was that. I mean, Amari was looking to make a decision that he thinks is the best decision for him. And it was just kind of, didn't have all the information. That was really that.
Okay.
But the sky's the limit with him. He's awesome.
Yeah, he's
awesome.
He's absolutely
on the basketball court, there's nothing that Amari can't do. He's
good.
An outstanding player. He's an outstanding person. The strides that he's taken on the court don't even compare to the strides that he's taken as a young man off the court.
Yeah.
Just seeing him grow as a person from his freshman to sophomore, now going into his junior year, have been awesome. And he's so easy to root for, and he's such a good kid. And, it's not possible without him wanting to do all those things as well. But, yeah, man, Amari is going to be a big part of the things that we do this year. He was a big part of what we were trying to do last year. And just as a player and as a person, Amari does nothing but continue to grow and get better. So I'm excited
talented
to see where he takes it.
Yeah, he's definitely one of the better ones that I'm sure a lot of people have seen at Township. This starting five that Township has, they've been together for some time, especially with O'Neal and Schutzel since freshmen. So how do you feel about this group, the experiences there? It was even there last year. I heard people saying that last year, you guys expected big things to happen from, the core five being together. And with this upcoming year, like it being their last for most of them, and how do you feel about that? Of course, Schutzel, O'Neal, Dakota, Sam, and Cole.
Yeah, it's way more than just a core five.
Yeah, it's deeper than that.
I mean, all of our seniors have done, they've been playing together since they were, little kids in travel basketball when myself, Coach Smith, and Coach Golub were coaching them all the way through travel. So this being, a final season for them is something that's special. And if they all buy in, it'll be memorable. If they're all willing to sacrifice, it'll be memorable. Because we don't have one guy. Like that's the best thing about this team. There's not one guy that is, that can do it all. And the juniors are included in that. The rising juniors are part of the equation. They all need each other. There's something that the starting point guard does, and there's something that the starting point guard doesn't do that the last guy on the bench can do. Like they all need each other. That's going to be the difference in how good of a season we have. We expect to be competitive. We're going to have a gauntlet of a schedule. The schedule is going to be a monster.
Wow.
But it's nothing that this group can't handle if they stick together. It's nothing that this group can't handle if they work together. It's nothing that this group can't handle if they buy in together. And once they realize that not one of them can do it alone, not any two of them, not any three, not four, not five, it's going to take everybody in a Freehold Township uniform, whether you play 32 minutes or 0 minutes, it's going to take all of them to get to where we need to go this season, or get to where we want to go, or where we expect to be at the end of this season. And the sooner that they realize that, the better that we're going to be for it.
When it comes to the gauntlet of the schedule, are there certain teams that try and have cupcake schedules?
I don't know about cupcake schedules. I think,
or is that not even like a thing?
No, I don't think that's a thing. Everybody out here is playing hard, working hard, trying to compete, and putting their teams in the best position to be successful. There's talented players all over the shore. There's talented coaches all over the shore. I don't think there's no such thing as a cupcake in high school sports. Anything can happen on any given day.
Well, who's like last season one of the better hoopers that you've seen, like from the teams you faced, if you could remember just one?
God.
Does Gio Boley stand in mind, or Jackson guard?
Yeah, he was extremely talented. But then
that was
again,
an off game for him. But
then again, like look at what Dakota did during the Christmas tournament. You know what I mean?
That was wild.
There was
bro.
all the hype. I think we were projected to lose that game by like 10, and then what did Dakota do? He just locked them down. Like I wish there was a Defensive Player of the Year award in the short conference, because Dakota Lassiter would have won it.
Wow.
No doubt about it last year.
Okay.
Honestly, I look at things at a team scale.
Yeah, that's true.
There are talented players all over the place. Like I said, there are talented coaches all over the place. But I got to be honest with you. I really am so hyper-focused on doing my job of getting these JV guys ready to play varsity basketball, and then getting our varsity guys ready to go win games. So that's that. I'm really more focused on in-house. That's true, not a cop-out answer. That's
I know it's a team effort. But all right. So one more township question I have. This really is dedicated to Schutzel and O'Neal, because they were both varsity players freshman year, which not a lot of people really could do. But it kind of goes back to earlier what I said about like walking straight in the fire, because that's what they did. So how have they developed these past few years? They've, of course, given a boost to the team. I know Schutzel's big on football, but he has them hops, as people know. And I would say right now they would be considered the captains of the squad. I'm not sure if you guys do that, but just talk about them too.
Yeah, so John O'Neal never played JV, never played freshman. John was a varsity basketball player from day one, simply because he could do things that nobody else in the program could do since his freshman year. His ability to get downhill and finish on his right hand, with his right hand and his left hand, it was at an elite level. It was at a varsity level from the day he stepped into the school here. So he earned the right to be a varsity player. Jake Jake wasn't far behind. His skills weren't quite there. They've only gotten better. And athletically, he was doing things that nobody else in our program could do. So we figured that those two deserved their chance because of what they brought to the table and because physically they were mature for their age and they were able to handle the physicality of varsity basketball. And the two of them have just added to their game every single year. John has always been somebody that can do a little bit of everything, but most notably, John has been a much improved shooter. John has always been an underrated facilitator. He's an excellent scorer, and like I said, he's probably the best finisher around the rim that we have. And every year he's learned different ways that he can be effective. Every single year he has learned different ways that he can be the best version of John O'Neill on the basketball court just by being active on both ends. Going to get a deflection, going to get a rebound, and then leading the break. He has figured out how his offense can complement his defense and how his defense can complement his offense, and he's really becoming somebody that we've relied on to be an offensive spark. And just when John is aggressive, there are not many people that can really hold him. He does a lot for us, and he's capable of doing a lot for us, and he does. Jake has added a lot to his skill set. He's always had the athleticism, and he's only gotten more athletic. He's only gotten, so Jake played for me in the 7th grade. That's when Jake started playing basketball. Jake only started playing basketball 5 years ago. So what he's been able to do has been pretty unprecedented. To go from just playing basketball 2 years later being a varsity basketball player, it's pretty unheard of. But he has learned the game. He has gotten more athletic. He's gotten so much bigger, faster, stronger. And he's learning different ways that he can use that within the game to put himself and us in a position to be successful on offense and on defense. He's really used those natural abilities to become a very good basketball player for us here.
Yeah, John and Jake, when they both turn it on, it could honestly kind of be scary to say the least. When I've seen Jake's performance against Manalapan. I've seen John's performance against Mid-South. And the buzzer beater versus SJV. So they're both very good players. But I wanted to ask one, present or last season present day question, and then one about past teams. So when you take a look at, because you guys have won a good amount of games, but I know for a fact last season, I'm sure, coaches expected, to go farther in both playoffs, short and state. So the loss against Manasquan, the losses against Wall, which people could say, yeah, Wall's undefeated, whatever, but I know for a fact you guys could have, had a shot with them. Maybe I'm wrong, but then also with Hillsborough, that was competitive. I think it just kind of slipped away towards the end when they got the hang of it, and they're a very good team. Obviously, I think they made it to Rutgers that year. So those 3 losses, what do you truly think that you guys could have gone very far in the postseason? Because I think you guys could have, honestly.
So it's multi-layered here, right? All 3 of those teams and all 3 of those programs are outstanding. They have talent on the court, and they are put in positions by their coaches to be successful. So top to bottom, they are, that Wall team has been together since middle school. They're a senior-led team, right? That team has been together for years and years and years, and that's exactly how they played. They played like an experienced, senior-led team that was not going to hurt themselves. They were not going to beat themselves. So they kind of grinded us down and without taking any credit away from Wall, in hindsight, that's a game that we think we could have and maybe should have won. But Wall was the better team in the fourth, late in the game. The Manasquan game was close. That is one of the best programs in the entire state of New Jersey. They are constantly competing and one of the last 10 teams playing in the state year in, year out. I think, I have no problem saying it. I think Coach Bilodeau over there does just as good of a job as anybody else in the entire state, maybe even beyond just the state of New Jersey. Maybe it's one of the best basketball coaches in all of high school.
I agree.
What he gets his teams to do year in, year out, and how they grind and how they defend, they just break your spirit. So, with credit to them and what they've done, they executed. They did exactly what they needed to do. They made enough plays to be successful. So, They made enough plays to be successful, and we had our chances in the same breath. If I'm not mistaken, we missed a bunch of free throws down the stretch that would have made that a closer game and maybe put us in a different situation. So, and again, like the Hillsborough team was long, athletic, tough. They defended, they talked shit, they shot it. They've been together for years now, and they're all coming back. So that's going to be the exact same team. They graduated no one, if I'm not mistaken. So all three of those teams are teams that had already had previous playoff experience. They had older players. They've had the coaches that have been in that situation before. And I think learning how to win is such an underrated part of sports. Like, it goes back to what I said about losing opening night in RBC.
Tough one, yeah.
This group has never won with one of these guys being the guy. It's always been Cardone stepped up for this group the last 2 seasons, you know?
Last two,
Now,
yeah.
who's going to step up as a senior this year? And that we'll have to wait and see. But again, we're going to be in a position to have the opportunity to win games like this again. Because we have enough talent, it's all about how they make it work together. It's all about if they can put their egos aside and win for the guy next to them. It's all about if they're willing to accept one another and what each of them brings to the table. And that's not to say we have any selfishness on our roster. It's just really, truly the best part about our team is that we are a complete team. And when we play together and when the pieces complement each other and we all buy into defense and we all move the ball and share the ball and we don't care who gets 20 any given night, we're going to be so tough to beat because there are 4 guys that can go off on any given night. And if nobody cares which one of them it is, that's when we're going to be at our best.
Yeah, Freehold Township definitely has what it takes. Other athletes that I've interviewed, they said the same thing for basketball. But talking about past seasons, so are there any, and you've been here for a while, and I'm sure you and Golub and Smith either would agree or have different takes, but any teams in the past from different seasons that stood out? Like I know in 06 you guys did very well, 2017, 2015 when Golub was still there.
Yep.
And, the names that I want to mention is people like Malachi Harris, Andrew Silverman, Jaden Holmes, so people like that.
Sure. So the coaches will tell you the 2007 team is the best team in school history.
06, 07, yep.
I think 07, 08, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, no, whatever. The 2007 team. So Coach Hardison was actually on the team the year before in 2006. So the year after Coach Hardison, 2007, they, at the time, had the school record for wins. They won the Shore Conference tournament. They had the Shore Conference Player of the Year. They didn't lose to a high school team all season long. They lost to like a JUCO school or something like that. That was their only regular season loss. And they lost a close game in this, if I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong. They lost a close game either in the state final or the state semifinal because the point guard was throwing up, like during the game. So the 07 team is the best team in school history.
Wow.
There have been different teams who obviously have been successful. That's the one Shore Conference tournament championship that we have. In 2019, we won the Central Jersey Group 4 state title with Coach Meisner. He was a starter on that team, and that was like Greg Billups, Christian Corcione, Zach Arico, so many other guys. And that was another team that was just, they were all like 6'1", 6'2" across the board at all 5 positions. Long, they all defended, they'd been playing together their entire lives, and that was just another team, kind of like the Knicks, where every single game there was a moment where someone needed to step up, and that person needed to, and they did step up. So that was unbelievable. I mean, we won a game by 1 point or 2 points at Trenton versus Trenton to win this Group 4 state title. I always joke with Coach Golub that I was the missing piece because he was 0-8 in state tournament finals. He'd been there 8 times, hadn't won yet. And my first year coaching was the year that we finally broke through, so I always like to tease him.
Wow.
Even though I was just a volunteer assistant freshman coach at the time, I like to joke that when they added me, that was the year that he broke through. But yeah, like beyond the championships, like this kind of goes back to what I was saying earlier about how Golub and Smith have done such a good job. And even before Coach Golub, Coach Warner laid the foundation. Like, there have been so many people before us who have done a good job of, like, it means something to play Freehold Township basketball. And that you can't say the same at a lot of other schools in our area. Like, you know what you're going to get when you play Freehold Township, and that's been the case since 1995. Like, it's been 30 years of in-your-face defense and complete team offense. Like, you know what you're going to get. Like, we're always competitive, whether we're good or not. Yeah. We're always competitive. And then when we have talent, we win championships. Like, that's just the standard here. And that's based off of just hard work and defense. Like, there's no secret sauce. The way that we've been doing things has worked, and it has worked across 3 decades. And that's honestly, like, he's going to kick me for saying it if and when he sees this. But, like, what Coach Golub has done here is not normal. He's won 400 games, but more often than not, he's created an identity around Freehold Township basketball.
Wow.
So like I said, like, we always compete because playing hard is the standard. If you don't play hard and you don't defend, you're not going to play at all. Like, that's the expectation. So automatically we have a chance to be in a game. And then when we have talent, we win those games more often than not.
Yeah, before I shift to the next one, just off the top of my head, 2 of them. One, are you expecting from the talent this upcoming year a championship? Is that the expectation?
I don't think anything is out of our realm of possibility. I think the sky's the limit with this group. I think we have more than enough talent. I think we have the experience now. I think we've learned a little bit about what it takes to win those big games. And I think there is a desire to win. And I think we have a lot of the recipe that we've had in years past that's translated to winning. So am I guaranteeing anything? No, because so much can happen, and we got to go out there and compete at the end of the day. Yeah. Would I be shocked? Also no, because I know the group that we have, and I know the level of competitiveness that is in the gym, and I know the expectations that they have for themselves. But as long as they don't care who gets the credit, as long as they don't care how we do it, winning needs to be first, second, and third. And playing for the person next to you has to be first, second, and third. And that's what's going to make this group great.
Yeah, I mean, those are all facts right there. I certainly believe it. But the next one is more about pride and passion, because I know you take a lot of pride in this school, and it's very deep. And that kind of goes the same for me. Like, it was kind of sad when I couldn't. Well, I probably will film here going forward, but not as much as obviously my senior year. But just I don't know if, because in high school it varies. There's a lot of good schools that don't have big home crowds. So I don't know if you think that plays a factor with home court advantage and with these, you know, even the smaller things when it comes to the bleachers that they just got. Maybe that'll make a difference. I don't know. And then these quote-unquote rivalries with Manalapan and Borough, like, I'm sure, I don't know if the coaches, like, laugh at that, because you guys have just, I mean, beat them pretty bad every single time. And when it comes to Manalapan, it's kind of shocking, because I thought it'd be kind of closer, but both times you guys just kind of had their numbers. So the pride and then the 2 quote-unquote rivalries, like, what do you think about that?
Yeah, so obviously, you know, we take pride every single time we hit the court that we're going to go out there and we're going to compete and we're going to give our best effort and we're going to defend and we're going to do everything we can to win a ball game for our fans, for our parents, for our grandparents, aunt, uncles, brothers, sisters who come and watch us play and show us support for each other. Those guys in the locker room, like, they would run through a wall for each other. And I mean, I can comfortably speak for the coaches and definitely myself. Like, I would do anything for my current players or anybody that has ever put on its Freehold Township uniform and played. I would do anything for those guys. So there is a tremendous amount of pride in putting on the Freehold Township uniform, in being a part of this program, in being a part of this community, because when this team is good, the community shows up. When the team is good, people come out and support. And honestly, like, it hasn't, not that it hasn't been the same, but, like, and we love our fans. We love our fans. There's nothing better than when we have a packed crowd here versus Manalapan, versus Borough, versus Howell, and they're yelling back and forth at each other. It's awesome. And Coach will tell you, even Jason Golub, coach's son, will tell you, the way that it used to be is there used to be like people were getting turned away at the door back in the day.
I've seen
Like,
clips on YouTube.
You've seen,
It's so packed.
YouTube, there are pictures throughout the school
Freehold
where
Township
all
is crazy.
4 bleachers and then all the standing room near the doors and in between the bleachers. Like this was like the hottest ticket in town. Like I can't stress it enough. Like the pride that we feel is what we're able to do for the community, for the school, for the alumni that used to play here, that used to go here, that used to cheer for us, that used to be in the bleachers, that had a memory, that had a moment of, oh yeah, remember when so-and-so did this versus Manalapan, remember when so-and-so did this versus Howell, remember that game winner, remember that championship. Like people still talk about these things when they think back on being at a game as a spectator, or being on the bench as a player, or being in the game as a player, or on the sideline as a coach. Like these things, like you carry with you for the rest of your life. So it's pretty cool to hear even you talk about how it means something for you to come back and how much fun you had being at these games, because that's what we do it for, man. Winning is a bonus, but being able to go and put out an effort that makes people proud and gets people excited to come watch us play is also part of it, and it's also baked into it. And the rivalries are real. The rivalries are absolutely real.
Okay.
We don't care who's in front of us. Like we want.
So it's bad blood.
Bad blood. I don't know. There's always.
I'm messing with you, bro.
We want to win a division every single year, right? And that means winning here versus Manalapan. That means winning there versus Manalapan. It means winning here versus Howell. It means winning there versus Howell. I mean, you know what I mean? No matter who's in and out of our division, the Middletown, North, Souths of the world, and all that stuff. And you grow up playing travel against these kids, so you're familiar with some of them. You grow up in the same town as some of them. Like Freehold Township, we draw kids from Manalapan, we draw kids from Howell. So you want to go beat your former school. You want to go beat those kids that you played with. So just the kind of, the proximity, and then you play a team twice a year, every year for the last 50 years. That's going to create those moments that create those rivalries. So yeah, man, absolutely. We want to beat them every single time we hit the court. Every single time we want to hit the court, we want to destroy them. I don't own red clothing. I don't wear red.
He doesn't wear red.
I don't wear red. That's Manalapan. You're not allowed to wear red sneakers in here. Go over there if you want to wear that. You can't wear, you're wearing green right now. I think Colts Neck, bro. That's them. That's not us. It means something.
Colts Neck is a rivalry.
But at the same breath, obviously, they do a good job. Yeah. It's about, us getting better and going out there and competing. But yeah, man, do we want to win? What am I going to sit here and say? Oh, we want to try our best and whatever happens? You play the game to win. Real, yeah. You play the game to win.
I'm gonna laugh at this, but I got a counter argument. So he mentioned red, right? So did the team say anything about John O'Neill's red shoes his freshman year?
We definitely teased him about it. Some of the stuff that we just talked about.
I thought about that.
So we used to do team shoes. And
I remember the red shoes, man.
Navy blue or light blue. Then 1 year we got away from Nike and we went to Under Armour, and people were complaining about it, so we were just like, wear whatever shoes you want. So that's why John was even able to wear red shoes, because we got away from it. Shout out to dude, when I was here, I wish I kept my shoes. I had 3 years of Hyper Dunks that are now considered classics, and I wish I kept them.
Hyper Dunks classic.
But yeah. We definitely used to tease John about his red shoes.
Funny question. One more. I have so many I could ask, but just this is the last one before the broadcast.
I got no more practices, no more interruptions.
Hey, man.
I'm here for as long as you want to be. I appreciate you having me.
Yeah, absolutely. This is going to be, bro, I can't wait for this one. But, all right, so you, Coach Smith, Coach Golub, his son, all the coaches, you guys are in.
Yeah, Coach Meisner, Coach Walls.
Yeah, you guys are in that room over there. That room over there talking about game plans and stuff like that. What was one team this past season where, you guys are sweating, shaking your head, saying we got to be prepared for this one. This one's going to be the one you gotta bring in. Any team this past season?
And this is not a cop-out. Again, I'm not giving you a lawyer answer here. It's every team. Every single team warrants the same attention to detail, the same hours and hours and hours of watching film, the same practice is done here at 8:30. We don't leave until 11 to go home to sleep for
11.
5 hours. Then we're back here early to watch. Like, we're watching film. We're breaking down. We're talking about practice. We're talking about what we need to do to be successful. Like, when I tell you that we have a coaching staff here that they're okay, so I'll put it to you like this: you're going after this media thing, right?
Yep, absolutely.
Some people like it, some people love it, and some people live it. Like, we live this, you know? It's not just
Breathe
a hobby.
it.
It's not something that we enjoy doing. It's like we've ingrained ourselves into doing the best job possible to put these kids in the best position to be successful on and off the court. So and this is I almost misspoke.
No, you can say it.
So we're approaching Manasquan or Wall or Hillsborough the same way we're approaching if we played a team that had 2 wins. You know, like the approach doesn't waver.
Yeah, you don't want to lose to Burrow, so.
I didn't say Burrow.
No. I'm saying, like, when you say 2 wins, like, you know. Oh, I just realized, I'm slow. What
You're
the
good.
heck?
I didn't say any names.
Nah, he didn't say that. I said that.
Like, you get what I'm saying. The approaches and the attention to detail and the level of commitment and the hours and hours and hours and hours and hours. I'm eating dinner with my laptop on like, watching film. You know what I mean? Like, I'm staying up till 1 a.m. just to figure out if, Middletown North's point guard, when he drives left, is he going all the way to the rim, or does he pass, or does he pull up? How do they defend a screen? What kind of press do they use? Okay, coach just called out Duke. What play are they running? How are we going to defend that? Like, it's a grind, man. It's a grind, and we're watching our own film, and what do we do well? What do we do wrong? Okay, we called out this play, and we didn't get the look that we wanted. What went wrong? There's so much that goes into it. So there's always something that we have to be ready for. There's always something that we have to improve upon. There's always something that we have to be looking and paying close attention to. So it's man, the level of attention, it doesn't matter who's in front of us. That can't drop off.
Yeah, can you sense when, like, you guys have practice after school or just in general, like, can you sense when a player has an ego? And, like, how do you, like, cut that off?
An ego? Sure.
Because, like, let's just be honest. Like, Shuttle's very known. So, like, does he have an ego? I don't know. I'm about to interview him Thursday, so.
Jake is a confident kid, and it's, I think, the right amount. And
I wasn't picking on him.
I'm not talking about Jake specifically.
Yeah.
I'm talking about any player who has confidence in themselves. I think you should have an ego. I think you should have self-belief. I think you should know and have a belief in yourself that you can impact the game and help your team positively at all times at any given moment. When it gets in the way of winning and when you are
like not listening,
your ego, exactly, when you are uncoachable maybe because of your ego, like we're trying to put you in a position to be successful because we see things that are going to help the team and you see things that are going to help you get your numbers up because you think you're going to go play D1 basketball, like that's when it's a problem. And I mean, it's simple, man. I mean, like, we'll point things out when there's a selfish decision made. We'll show you how it's impacting the team. And it comes down to playing time. Like, if you're not helping the team, if you're not getting everybody involved, if you're not doing your part, like, man, we'll have a one-on-one tournament if we want to find out who the best player is. We'll just go do that. We'll tell 8 people to go sit in the corner and we'll go one-on-one. But, like, it's a team game. It's a team game. And that's what has made us such a successful program over the years, is that we play as a team constantly. We defend as a team and we play offense as a team. Sure, have we had talented guys? Absolutely. But, basketball is like the ultimate team game. So egos kind of sort themselves out. Because no matter what, like, we've won a bunch of games. How many guys have gone D1 basketball here? One?
I don't know.
One.
Which is kind of crazy if you think about it. Which just goes to show how difficult it is to go D1. Tough.
Think about the Shore Conference in general, right? There's however many schools. There are however many kids, like, I don't know, I'm just using a general number. Let's say there's 1,000 kids playing basketball this year. How many kids are lucky to go D3? How many kids are really going D1 in the Shore Conference? You know what I'm saying?
How many of them
That's not normal.
How many of them are going to make it to the league?
So, like, bro, exactly.
0. No, I'm joking.
You know what I'm saying? But seriously, so you kind of have to check your ego a little bit and understand, like, you can think you're good, but there's always somebody better. And we're here to win games, and we're here to play as a team. So, like, if you think it's going to be all about you, you're mistaken.
I did hear one practice. I think this was last season, like in the beginning. Coach Smith was, I think, getting on the players. He was like, nobody in this gym is going something. I don't know if he said D1. I don't know. And maybe I'm wrong. I'm not taking shots at Coach Smith. But, like, that's what I'm trying to say, like, the mentality of, like, you got to be real sometimes to push people, you know?
I don't think anything was quite said that demonstratively or to put anybody down or anything like that.
Or maybe he said the way you guys are practicing. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
I was just putting it out there.
No, I'm gonna dispute that claim.
Okay.
Because there are plenty of ways to say that no.
It's just what I heard. It's just what I heard.
Yeah, no. Maybe I don't know, but no, not from.
Yep.
No.
Just heard about it.
Yeah.
And by the way,
I constantly use the thing. Yeah. I say it with my second graders to. Our varsity team, like LeBron James is not in the building, guys. Like you all need each other. Mm-hmm. Like it's not, none of you are going to go get 50. None of you are going to go get 60. It's not all about one person. Like you all need each other. And if somebody does go get 60, it's with the help of your teammates. Somebody's got to pass you the ball. Somebody's got to set you the screen, right? Like it's just not how we play. It's just not what we're about here.
I have a lot of respect for Coach Smith, by the way, if you're watching. And so now let's talk about broadcasting. And before I even get into this topic, I will say the utmost respect for Coach Burns. Grinding with that, reaching new heights, it's something that I honestly never really thought you would, or you had that in you until I started seeing that. I was like, oh, shoot, like he's at MSG and all these places. And that's going to be my next question. But maybe I could gain your trust one day to, get some connects because, man, like that would be huge for at least what I'm doing. But this part I'm going to really listen. Like this is the part where I actually want to know myself, even if the camera wasn't here. Like, how did you get into that? Because if it started with a connection or opportunity, it's like, I'm going to take that noted in my head. So how did that even, take shape?
So you're spot on. It is all about connections.
Yeah. Which
is why it's really important to develop and maintain relationships with people in your field that you're pursuing. Mm-hmm. It's really important to show up with a smile. It's really important to maintain a positive attitude. You could have the worst day of your life. Your dog could die. You still need to show up and do a job. You still need to be reliable. And with you guys graduating before you enter college and the workforce, it's almost as important as being able to carry out the job that you're hired to do. It's almost as important that you show up and be somebody that people enjoy being around. Because at the end of the day, you're hanging out with these people that you work with for hours and hours and hours every single day. You better be somebody that people want to be around and be pleasant to be around. Nobody wants to be around somebody that's constantly complaining. Nobody wants to be around somebody that's negative, that's thinking worst case scenario, that's talking negatively about what you can't do or whatever, feeling like crap, or about not wanting to be there. Like nobody wants that,
Absolutely.
So that's just that. But yeah, it's connections and it's drive and it's work ethic on top of, nobody's going to ever recommend somebody that they haven't seen work and that they might put in a position like this is our first time ever really interacting, right?
Yeah.
If you reached out to me before this and you were like, hey, can you get me a job at so-and-so? I'm going to be straight up and be like, no, because I've never seen you work. I don't know you. Why would I put my reputation on the line for somebody I've never met? You might go there and do a crap job and embarrass me, and now I look bad. You know what I mean? That matters.
I know.
That matters. So a buddy of mine who was working for Fox during college moved to Los Angeles, recommended me to some people at Fox. I got in over there. It was a ground level job, and I went in there and I hustled, and I was working, locally. And then somebody just saw my hustle and was like, hey, do you want to do this, but, with us on the road? And I was like, okay. And even before then, I graduated here in 2013. I went to William Patterson University because they had an excellent communications program, and they still do. They have a multi-million-dollar studio. So if you're interested in media and you have a real passion for it and you want to hone in on your craft, William Patterson University is a great place to go do that. I went to college wanting to be a writer. So I wrote for both school newspapers. I got involved right away. My freshman year, I got involved in 2 newspapers and the radio station where I was covering William Patterson athletics, and I had my own sports radio talk show. I was working the board first, doing all of the behind-the-scenes stuff before I had an opportunity to be on air, so I worked hard and I climbed the ladder there. And then one day I saw people down by the court with the headsets on, and I was like, oh, that looks interesting. I might want to do that. And they're like, okay, get involved with the radio station. I was like, okay, great. I'm already involved. What do I do? He's like, oh, we have a meeting on Monday. So did that, got involved in the sports department.
Wow.
So exactly, like just that interaction, that connection gets you a foot in the door. And then what do you do with that foot in the door, you know? My journey has been a lot of grinding, like a lot of sweat, a lot of late hours, a lot of all-nighters. Like some days I stayed up 36 hours straight on a job. Like it's been unbelievable.
That's insane.
You know, like spending money that I don't have to go be places just to be in a position to get maybe an opportunity, and a lot of like sheer dumb luck, like straight up luck, like
God, bro.
Yeah, like otherworldly luck. Yeah.
So, yeah, that's really inspiring for somebody like me, because I know it's not easy. It's really not easy, and you still. He said it himself earlier.
I'm still grinding.
Yeah,
like,
he still has a long way to go. He said that before. Yeah.
I still might have a decade before I get to where I ultimately want to be. You know,
I mean,
I'm still like, but I'm in the building. You know, and I'm going to show up with a smile. I'm going to say yes to everybody. I'm going to be a helper. I'm not going to be a liability. You know, I'm going to be somebody that people want to be around, and I'm going to do the job to the best of my ability, and I'm going to go from there. Prime
TV. That's a big accomplishment right there.
That was crazy. That was insane.
You could talk about that with this, I guess, because it's similar. But walking into arenas like MSG, and I've been at the city recently, actually. It's so like, I guess I don't know how to explain. I'm a deep person when it comes to these things. So even the littlest amount of things like that, just
you
that,
feel
that motivation.
New York.
Yeah. You just
Absolutely.
Oh my goodness, he knows. But like going into the arena, like shooting around and working there, like how does that like feel? I'm sure that gives you that extra like goosebumps of like, I could feel it, you know what I mean? Like,
if I could bottle whatever that building does to a person and sell it, I would be a billionaire, because the energy around and in Madison Square Garden that people talk about is so real. It is so real. And not to get too far off, but I'm a big believer in energies and things like that. Like I practice grounding and I meditate, and I walk barefoot outside every single morning, and I think about the things that I want in my life, and I speak positively on my life. And I did that at Madison Square Garden. I literally took off my shoes and I walked on the floor, like just to absorb the energy of that place. I know that's not really how it works, but
that's cool. That's
fine. Like
cool.
No joke, that building does something to me, and I love it there, and I love being there, and just shooting around on the court is something I never thought I'd be able to do. But that was just like a fun perk of working hard for an opportunity to be in the building at that tournament, working alongside those people that I was working alongside of. That was years and years and years of doing jobs I didn't want to do, years and years of getting coffee, years and years of picking up lunch orders, years and years of people's bad moods running downhill onto me, and then still having to go through that and say yes and treat them and kiss their rear end for a little bit, you know? Like that was just opportunity and preparation colliding, and that shooting around there, you know, that was all fun. But you know, like I'm in that building, I'm sweating, like I'm legitimately sweat running down my face, hustling to do my job. Like I'm like, you know, like it's a once in a lifetime opportunity, and I never forget that anytime that I'm in that building and my feet are on the ground at Madison Square Garden. Like, bro, I'm a diehard Knicks fan. I got Walt Frazier tattooed on my leg.
I seen that. I was gonna ask you about that as well.
I bleed blue, and that building, man, it means so much to me. So, backtracking a little bit, I was 21 in college, and my second internship was with the Knicks. So I was working with Mike Breen and Walt Frazier. I was helping them prepare information. Like I've never been cooler in my life. That's the coolest thing I've ever done in my life. 21 years old. I was an intern at Madison Square Garden, working for the Knicks as a production intern, and my desk was from me to the wall with Walt Frazier. And so I would get to talk to him, hang out with him, pick his brain. And so there was an opportunity the first time I ever got to put my feet on the ground. I was walking along the baseline, and I actually almost like tripped over somebody's bag on the baseline. Like I was looking up at the ceiling, like
I would have done the same thing.
Like, dude, like I never forget that I'm still just that kid enjoying this whole process, but like never forgetting that it can go away just as fast. So I'm making sure I'm doing my job. There are 1 million, 2 million, 5 million people that want to be where I'm at. So I have to be sharp. I got to do my job with a smile. I got to be positive. I just, I'm grateful to be there, but I still have a job to do, and I need to perform, just like anything else.
That's
but that building, man, it's special. It's special.
That's definitely, like, I would say a dream of a lot of people, and it's similar to me too. Like, I wouldn't say I deal with pressure, overthinking, but I know for me, it's definitely a double standard because people see my progression. They know I progress a lot. They know I have what it takes. So when it comes to stuff like even the littlest amount of things, like setting up or doing interviews, it's like I want to be sharp because I know people are going to have thoughts and opinions. Not that I care, but if you want to create an impact, you want people to think positively of you.
I'll translate it to basketball, right? Here's what I would tell my players. Same thing I would tell you. If you just show up to this interview, right, and you just wing it, you might get a little bit better, okay? So if you just show up to practice for a couple hours a day, you might get better. But if you go home and you watch your interview back and you prepare, if you go in your driveway and you shoot around and you work on your ball handling, 90% of your progress is going to come from the things that you do on your own when nobody else is watching. Like that's anything, and that's more about like teaching life lessons through basketball. You can, you know what I'm saying? It's transferable.
Sports, football,
it's
all
the
that.
same thing. Exactly. So like you're putting in the work behind the scenes, and people only see what's going on in front of the camera.
It's tough.
They have no idea, but who cares? They don't have to see that, man.
I wish they did.
They don't have to see that. You're figuring out what works and what doesn't work. They don't have to see every single failure, every single success. You know what I mean? You just have to keep on grinding and keep on putting in the work, because ultimately consistency and discipline is going to take you way further than any like just kind of like flash in the pan that happens. It's what you do every day that matters.
Definitely. This is advice I need, man. So I was gonna ask, did you go to the World Cup final?
I was at the studio show. So I was at the pregame show in Brooklyn with like Zlatan, Thierry Henry, Alexi Lalas, and those guys. So
but you've been like to multiple, I guess.
So I was at the Brazil-Morocco game in round one.
Yeah, that
was unbelievable. Like 86,000 fans or something like that. I've never ever in my life that had more fans in it than any 3 Jets and Giants games combined. It was the most unbelievable experience in my life. It was the coolest event I've ever been to. And like I've seen some cool stuff, but that World Cup game was unbelievable. Yeah. So yes.
Yeah,
I was there, and
crazy
it was pretty
cool. So this one I guess I could save till the end, but I'll just ask it now because we're getting into that type of vibe. But so of course, my brand driven by purpose, but also with my show that I have you on, that I want it to be just as good. Like I don't compare them at all. They're 2 different things. So I know that I have a lot of potential that people will see as time goes on. It's been happening even with my media, doing videos and things like that. But what would be your number one piece of advice to me, like somebody like me that's doing what I'm doing? Because I know the route you took with broadcasting, it could be crucial for someone like me to get, that same, I guess, opportunity.
Best advice would be, if this is something that you really, really want to do, don't put a timeline on it. If you're fortunate enough to not have to settle for a job or maybe the job that you have isn't the job that you want, but it funds the dream. But if you continue to put that first and you don't put a timeline on yourself, you're going to be in really good shape, because half the people that don't make it are the ones that quit along the way. Resilience and perseverance and consistency and discipline. That's it. And honestly, like I say potential is bullshit. Potential is fairy dust. Potential is like an idea. It doesn't exist until you bring that potential to life, until you bring that idea to life. And it's all about what you do. Action is way more important than any potential that you have. So what are you doing every day to harness that potential? What are you doing every day to realize that potential? What are you doing every day to get one step closer to being the best version of yourself?
It's true.
That matters than anything that you're capable of. What you do matters way more than anything what you might do. Got me? Like,
yeah.
Thank
you, bro.
That would be
for real.
my thing. So you need to outlast people.
It means a lot.
And you need to do one thing just be 1% better every single day.
That's the goal, man. Hopefully we get there.
You will. So
time.
even that, it's not hopefully. You could be humble. That's cool.
Nah, it's like, yeah, you're right. I will get there, but like you got to, I'm trying to. It's both.
It's almost uncomfortable when you believe in yourself so much. But don't worry.
You got to be a little bit delusional.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Forget that. People are gonna tell you like,
I like that mentality.
They're gonna try to like give you a reality check or bring you down or make you think less of yourself, being like, oh well, like, hey, there's so many people want to be on camera. There are a lot of other different jobs. Like maybe like have you ever thought about being a producer or a camera person or lighting? Like, no, this is what I want to do, and I'm going to do this.
Relatable.
Like, you have to be unapologetic about it.
Yeah. So a piece of advice you wish someone gave you when you were my age, 18, what would you want it to be? And this is just about life. This isn't about my career. Like.
Bro, I have gone through maybe 50,000 software updates since I was 18. So I'll tell you this right now.
Give me like,
who you are at 18 is not who you're going to be at 20. Who you are at 20 is not who you're going to be at 22. Who you are at 25 is not going to be who you are at 18, and you're going to look back 7 years and you're going to say, what the hell was I doing? What the hell was I thinking? I was so naive. But that's it. Just keep on learning, keep on getting better. So the best advice that I ever got in my life, 2 words changed my life completely. Okay, 2 words. Somebody told me to be intentional.
Be intentional.
Be intentional.
Okay.
I had a lot of success in a bunch of different areas in my life. I rarely ever failed, truthfully. My failures came from self-sabotage and self-destruction. I had a lot of bad habits.
Man.
And I was kind of just like going through life. I had an idea of what I wanted to do, and I was doing things about it, but like when somebody told me to be intentional, all of a sudden every single thing I did every single day from the moment my eyes opened to the minute they shut, everything that I watched, everything that I listened to, everything that I read, the people I talked to, the food I ate, the things I drank, were either getting me closer to my goal or getting me further away. Like I went like David Goggins level locked in of it's either helping me or hurting me. Who do I want to be? How do I get there? What am I doing right now that is counterproductive? What are the things that I need to do to be that person? And I just did it. And I really made it that black and white, either helping me or hurting me, getting me closer to my goals or getting me further away. And when I was that locked in, that's when the stuff that you're pulling up off my Instagram, that's when all that stuff started taking off, And I really thought about, the things in my life that I can control, the things in my life that I can't control. And just being really mindful of that. I stopped letting things affect me that I can't control. I started taking control of the things that I can control. And those 2 words, be intentional, completely flipped my life on its head. The best way that I could explain, my life up until, no joke, I didn't wake up until I was 26. I lived my life just so not recklessly.
How old are you now?
I'm 30 now.
30, okay.
Okay, I've been locked in for 4 years. This is you see what I've done in just 4 years.
Yeah.
So.
It's gone by quick.
Right, but a lot, no joke, I think about where I was at 25, and that feels like a life, that feels like 15
Nah,
years
yeah,
ago.
I understand what you mean. Yeah.
Like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, that decision to be intentional changed everything. It's as if I was trying to paint a picture, and I had a brush, and I had these like colors all laid out in a row for me to use to paint a picture, and I like took the paint can and I just freaking threw it up against the canvas. Like, that's how I was living my life, expecting that to turn into like a beautiful like something. You know, like it was just like almost chaotic. Like, just like kind of like
Mentally,
doing it,
yeah,
you know what I mean? Without any real like, and once I started doing things on purpose and with purpose, everything changed, everything got better, everything got easy. Like, just easy. Like, opportunities started flowing towards me. Money started flowing towards me. Everything that I ever wanted happened. Like, it happened. Like, I went from, dude, like I went back to school to become a history teacher. Like, I almost like, Here, bro. I'm still one class away from being a history teacher.
Oh.
Like, I almost did that. I was selling Hondas. And then on my lunch break, I was like, what the hell am I doing? I'm a broadcaster, and I quit that day. Like, I was going to become a history teacher, and then all of a sudden they were like, hey, hit the road with us. You work hard. And, like, it changed everything. It changed everything. I lost 30 pounds. I got rid of people that weren't in line with the person that I was becoming. They were more in line with the person that I was. Like, it's not easy, and it doesn't happen overnight. It took years just to create the opportunity to give myself maybe the chance to be in the building with someone who can change my life. No guarantees, all opportunity. What are you going to do with it? But I became a person that capitalized on those opportunities. If I got everything that I have now, these opportunities, if I got these same opportunities at 23 that I have at 30, I would have shit the bed. I would have pissed those opportunities away. I would have ruined it. I would have found a way to ruin it. And being intentional changed everything for me.
Man.
That was the best advice I ever got. Changed my life.
I could literally talk
Bro,
about this.
I literally thought I was going to be a history teacher. I went from, and like 2 years later, I was on national television. Like, I made my TV debut on Thursday Night Football.
Nobody can say anything.
No, I mean, like, you can say what you want, but like,
nah, that's hard work right there.
Quickly, and how, like just by being in the building, but like I had to become that person that deserved to be in the building.
Yeah, confidence. I was gonna say I could talk about this for hours, so like I could ask so many questions. But
I love
yeah,
this. I'm even thinking about my own, like, how do I?
Yeah,
I want to talk to people about this. What you're doing is awesome.
Yeah, man. Like
this is the stuff that gets me going. Like, I love it.
I'm telling you, like the platform thing is so big. I always tell people, like, for me, this isn't about, I mean, it is, of course, the clicks, having that platform, the money, all that, but just these conversations alone is something that lasts, like, for a lifetime. So I just enjoy it so much, and I could talk for a long time.
Yeah.
Before I get into this is going to be like the funny part of or ending, I should say, but you're 30 now. Has kids ever got brought up in your mind?
Has what?
Has kids like ever gotten brought up
Having
in your mind?
kids? Absolutely. Yeah. Oh yeah. I want the wife and kids for sure. The lifestyle that I want to live makes that very pretty
hard. Yeah, I get it.
Makes that difficult. So finding the right person is so important. I'll tell you guys right now, at 18, here's the best piece of advice that I could possibly give you.
Yeah, give me some dating advice.
Bro, nothing will ruin your life faster than having a kid with the wrong person. You can get divorced, right?
Man.
You can make a mistake. You might marry somebody that turns out to be a complete nightmare, okay? But having a kid with the wrong person will ruin your life faster than anything else. And if you want to find the right person,
Manny agrees.
Ready? If you want to find the right person, you got to be the right person. You got to be the type of person that attracts the type of person that you want. All right?
Nah.
So you got to be able to, you got to have the humility to look in the mirror, okay, and be like, okay, would I date me? You know, that you got to be honest about that.
Yeah, literally, no, he's right.
But
you got to think about that.
Gentlemen.
Ladies are watching too. Nah.
Protection. All right? And
nah,
quality,
real talk, yeah.
Quality over quantity.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Yes. Quality over quantity. 10 times out of 10.
Yeah, you got to be.
Bro,
you got to be careful. He's right, though. Yeah.
I am telling you.
Oh, man. We're not even going to get into that girlfriend talk because I could.
You're good.
I could be here forever.
We're good.
Well, I don't know. Eventually we will. But So now I'm already laughing from what he just said. But so the rapid fire questions, I do this at the end. I don't know if you've seen, but I've done these. And some of these, because they say respect your elders. So some of these might be wild, and I'd understand if you don't answer these. But for me, it's all out of like positive type of, intentions or energy, whatever. So we're going to just go through the list. Some of these are about the team. Some of these are about most of these are about the team, actually, to be honest. But
shoot.
So what's the funniest coaching moment you've ever had?
Funniest?
Freehold Township, though, only. Like,
funniest
for this question.
Coaching
like,
moment?
where you just was, like, dying laughing. Or you had to hold it in, maybe. He's thinking about it.
There's a lot, man. We laugh a lot. We have a really good time. I'm trying to think.
Nah, take your time, bro. We'll cut the weight out. We'll cut the part out of the thinking if we have to.
I have one, but I can't say it. Like, you got to. This is the part you're gonna end up. You got to edit it.
We'll bleep it out. We'll bleep it out.
You got it, because it's.
Oh yeah, no, we. Oh man. Next one. So, if Freehold Township had to win a game and there's no coach, what player is running it?
If Freehold Township had to win a game and there was no coach,
I would say,
who's speaking up, or who's drawing up a play?
Nah,
or like
who's being full, like, audible, drawing up plays, keeping everything together. Like, that's their obligation.
Okay.
Whether they could do it or not, they had, like, you know what I mean?
I think I trust.
From this past season.
I trust Cole with the clipboard.
Cole, okay.
Okay.
Shout out Cole Garrett.
Dakota would keep everybody together. He'd be the vocal leader.
True.
And I'll go wild card answer. You know who else would be whipping up work on the clipboard? Jackson Farley. Jackson Farley,
okay.
Could probably draw something up on a clipboard.
JC
and Sam
Farley
would be a vocal leader too. Sam and Dakota, vocal leaders. Cole probably taking the reins, calling the shots, and underrated Jackson Farley.
Okay. Toughest player you've ever coached, and I don't mean that in a negative way. I mean, like, a lot of, like, just, what's the right word I'm looking for? A lot of time, whether it was just you not clicking right away or you knowing that this person could be something great and maybe they don't understand it. Like,
two of them come to mind.
I was going to say this past season, but that wouldn't make any sense because, like,
two of them come to mind.
Okay.
One is James McCarthy. James McCarthy was on that 2023 team. 23 or 21, whatever. Either way, with James, it was James, Malachi, and Jaden. Okay.
Was James number 22 or something like that?
James was the big dude.
Okay.
James did all of the dirty work that made that team work. That was a 20-win team, okay? And this is no disrespect to anybody else, but James, Mal, and Jaden and Cardone, like, we won 20 games with 4 players, okay? Like, Sylvie wasn't Sylvie yet, right? Sylvie, all he had to do that year was shoot the ball. Brandon Herrero got some minutes here and there. All he had to do was rebound and pass the ball and play some defense. Like those two didn't really have to do much in that. We won 20 games with 4 players. But the guy that made all of that work was James McCarthy. He just got better and better and better every single year. He would not back down from anything. He's probably the first person to throw a punch in a game if he ever needed to fight. He's also going to set a hard-ass screen. Like, if somebody's fouling Malachi, James is going to call for a screen. He's going to light that kid up. He's going to box out hard as hell to go get a rebound. He's somebody that we will never run a play for him, but when there's an opportunity for him to go make a play, he's going to go make that play. We were down at CBA versus such an unbelievable CBA team. James himself went on a 7-0 run when he was having the worst game of his life. Coach Smith and Golub and myself eviscerated him at halftime because he was playing so bad, and he responded and had the best second half of the entire season in that game. And so when you talk about toughness, on top of being physically tough, well, he'll beat the shit out of anybody on any given night, mentally, He was just willing to do anything that it took for that team to win. He responded every single time that we got on him. Mentally and physically tough. James McCarthy comes to mind immediately. And Nick Cardone did the exact same thing. Nick carried teams since basically he was a sophomore. He had to contribute, or since he was a freshman, really. He contributed all 4 years in a major way. He guarded the best player every game for all 4 years. He had huge moments on offense all 4 years. And he honestly, he willed that team 2 years ago to that deep postseason run. So James and Nick are two of the toughest players I've ever coached mentally and physically.
Wow. I like these detailed answers, man. Like I'm getting to that point. It's been easier for me doing this podcast stuff. Like it's so smooth with the talking. But
You're asking good questions.
He's a natural.
You're asking good questions.
Yeah. Thank you, man. So this is this past season's team. You need one player to lie for you, one to tell the truth, and one who's gonna mess it all up. Who's who?
One player to lie for me, one player to tell the truth, one player to mess it all up.
And these are all going to be clips, by the way, because this part is the funniest
If
stuff.
I needed somebody to lie for me.
I'm going to laugh, bro. I'm so curious about these questions because I know all these guys, man.
Does it have to be a varsity player or can it be a JV player too?
Well, the thing is, I don't know the JV players, so I would say varsity.
Okay.
Just to make it more difficult. No.
To lie for me. I would say Cole, because Cole's got some confidence.
Yo,
Cole can speak with confidence and conviction, whether it's truthful or a lie. One person to tell me the truth, I would say Sam Hawksby, because he's probably one of the most genuine
I thought you were going to say John. But
we have in the program. John O'Neill, too, because he's also just a genuinely good kid.
Yeah.
And the person that would mess it up is probably Gundaker, because he probably wouldn't be able to keep it together and he would start laughing or smiling or something, because he's just another, positive, good kid.
Yeah.
He would try his best to go with it, but just like his character is so pure and so good that he wouldn't allow him to. So he'd probably crack up and ruin it for everybody else just by laughing on the bit.
Ooh, so this one, I don't know how it's going to be perceived as.
Oh, boy.
This one's a
boy,
brutal one. But so who on this past season's team, right? And this is hypothetical. If you had a daughter, would you not let them date?
Would I not
and
let
why?
them date my daughter?
Yeah. I asked these, for other episodes, by the way. This isn't just, targeted or anything. But this one is crazy. This one is wild. I don't know who he's gonna say. I have no idea.
This isn't a cop-out answer either. Like, they're all
good
awesome
people?
kids. Like a really good character. There's not anybody that I would be like, no, get the hell. Like, absolutely not.
No, not like that. More just like whether you don't know if you could trust them fully or you don't know if
You know what?
Like
it's got nothing to do with the type of person he is.
He's funny or something like that.
It's got nothing to do with the type of person he is, okay? Because he's a very good person. He's a polite, respectful kid. I'm going to say Carmen. I'm going to say Carmen.
Man, he's dying.
I'm going to say Carmen because Carmen's going to live Carmen's going to be a rapper.
That rapper life?
And I don't want my daughter with somebody living that rapper lifestyle. So only because of the lifestyle, not because of the character, because Carmen is an excellent, excellent human being. And I trust him. I trust him to be friends with if I had kids, they could be friends, all that stuff. But just for the rapper lifestyle, I'm going to say Carmen.
That's funny. What was Coach Smith's reaction when he saw Carmen with the red hair? I don't know if he did that during the season. Did he?
I think it was the preseason, but that's just Carmen, man. Carmen's going to be Carmen. I'm not mad at it.
No, not mad. I could just imagine Coach Smith being like, what is that? And it's
as long as you can see the ball and catch the ball, we're good. That's it. Make sure it's not in your eyes while you're playing and you're fine.
All right. Let's see. This one, I like this one. Because the age gap is so different with him and the people on the team. So this is probably hilarious. But so let's just say you were stranded and you had to choose 4 people on the team to figure it out, how to get home. No phones, no nothing. Which 4 are you bringing from the team?
I would bring Jake Platt.
Ooh, good answer.
I would bring
Jake Platt.
Luke Gunther.
Ooh.
Luke's a genius.
Okay. Yeah.
So Platt, Gunther.
Platt, Gunther. Okay. So, yeah, 2 more. So 5 including you, but.
I would bring Christian Dalnoon. He's tough as hell. He also fits that category as some of the tougher kids I've ever coached because he gets bodied. His freshman year, man, he got his ass kicked in practice every single day, and he showed up and competed his ass off every single day. But CD doesn't take shit. He's tough. I'd bring CD, Platt, Gunther, and damn, I don't know.
Schutzel. Nah.
Maybe Schutzel. I don't know. If I had to climb a tree or something, he can go jump up and get it.
Nah, it's tough. It's tough. These are
maybe
difficult.
Dakota, the leader.
Okay, Dakota, QB. So in a 1v1 tournament, let's say it was held here after practice.
Okay.
Are you beating every person on the team?
No, I can't move anymore, dude. I'm shot. I can go.
Really?
I can go forward and back.
You're
I can't
hurt
go side
or something,
to side.
or are you just like?
I'm old, man. I'm old. I stopped
What?
playing. It's like a muscle, dude. If
I
you're
seen
not
them.
working
I
it
seen
out-
them clips.
Bro, I'll play 5-on-5 and I'll go get 30 on 10 threes.
So if it
but
was 5-on-5 versus the team,
I've never been a one-on-one player ever.
Okay.
My best
5v5.
attribute
Yep.
is my brain and my jumper. So like I can
Okay.
set people up. I can make a right cut at the right time. I can tell people what to do. One-on-one, not my strong suit.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to ask this one, yo. So I'm not gonna say I know. Let's not say that because I could be completely wrong. But I mean, of course, you've had moments where like you would say you crashed out, right?
Sure.
Okay, so like, do you care to share like the biggest moment of that, or is that too deep?
Sure, because it was.
Or you raged or something?
Yeah, 100%. 100%. I stopped, dude, I want to win
Badly, yeah.
basketball games, and I want these kids to have fun winning, and I want them to enjoy winning, and I want them to have a positive experience, and I want them to get better, and I want them to learn, and I want them to have fun doing it, and I want them to win doing it.
Am I able to say like a certain story?
I want them to do all that more than I want to breathe. Like
I got
that's
you. Yeah.
But I stopped punching lockers and all that stuff. Like I haven't done that in a minute.
How did he know
I didn't
that?
break
How
a
did he
clipboard
know?
all last season, I don't think.
Oh, I didn't hear about that one. I only heard about the locker one.
I had one crash out that was real bad, like 3 years ago now, maybe.
3 years ago. Maybe that's the one I don't know.
I'm not going to say names.
Was it the locker one 3 years ago?
I was in the locker room for sure.
Oh, okay.
So we were playing. We were playing here versus Homedale.
Yeah.
And yep,
Definitely
yep,
was.
I'm
Definitely was.
embarrassed that's out there, but
No, I don't know.
yeah, that was honestly that moment made me a better coach.
Okay.
Because we had the ball underneath our own basket with an opportunity to win, and I called a play, and one of our players lined up in the wrong spot that I was calling the play for. Even though we'd gone over it 100 times, I was livid that we blew a big lead too. We had like a 15 or 20 point lead, and there were swing players playing JV and varsity. And when those guys went up, we just watched that lead go away and away and away, get less and less and less. And yeah, we ended up losing because we didn't execute that last play, and I lost it. I lost it, man, on this one player for lining up in the wrong spot. I'm not going to name names. Please don't name names on this.
Yeah, no, you don't got to.
You know who I'm talking about, obviously, if you know the story.
Honestly, maybe I forgot.
And I lost my shit, and I singled that person out, and I was just like, what the hell is my problem? Like after that game, I was like, what the heck am I? Like, what am I doing? What am I doing? It's my job as a coach to make sure that he never lines up in the wrong spot again. It's my job. I should have done a better job to have him better prepared. So I put the blame on myself, and I talked to him on a man-to-man level And I apologize for that one because that was that was my lowest moment ever as a coach.
Okay.
But it made me better. It helped me prepare better. It made me understand and remember why I'm here. It's not to win games. It's to build these kids up, not tear them down. And yeah, that was just a really, really shitty moment by me. And I've even brought this up in interviews and stuff like that as like a learning moment for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was as bad as it got. You know, just singling a kid out. You know what I mean? I was like, what are you doing, dude? And I've never done it since. And yeah, that was that. That was my worst crash out.
Did you address the team too, or
Yeah.
just the
Oh
kid?
yeah. Yeah. I was like, I got to calm down because honestly, it was a lot. Like, especially, you know, and this is the first time I'm ever saying this out loud, is specifically where I was in life. I had just gotten that be intentional advice, so I was making a lot of changes in my life.
Yeah.
There were parts of me that I was addressing for the first time that I wasn't happy with, and how I've chosen to live my life and things like that. And so there was just a lot of chaos behind the scenes.
Okay.
And I was like so wrapped up. And the biggest mistake I made, even beyond blaming one of my players, was I was putting my self-worth into winning and losing high school basketball games at the JV level. Like, when I lost, I took it so freaking personal. When I lost a game, I was a loser. So like, I was just like, so like, I was coaching with like anger, you know.
Yeah.
And so I needed to regroup and reassess and remember why I'm doing this. And I spoke to my guys and I was like, listen, like, let me remind myself why I'm here. And then it was frustrating. It was the worst season I've ever. Still, is the only. I don't know. I forget if it was a losing record. It was the only year that I've ever lost that many games.
Okay.
So like I had gone like, we had gone like 17-3, 17-3, and then another 17. Like, never lost 3 games in a season in my life as a high school coach up to that point, and we were terrible that year. And it's just all like, with the stuff that I had going on in my own life, you know, it all just kind of culminated.
Yeah, it happens.
So it was more than 3 years ago now that I think about it. I think I was like 25. So young coach figuring it out, dark, low moment for me, learned from it, moved on, have been better since, and thank God that I had a mature enough player who was able to understand that it wasn't his fault, that it was me and my inability to handle that situation correctly, and we move on from there.
Yeah. Those failures, man, makes you stronger. So I was going to ask you, is there something that you do, like, superstitious-wise that fans would be, like, surprised to hear when you're coaching? Like, I know some people are really articulate, things like that. Like before
superstition,
I really
coaching,
don't know.
no, not really.
Before games, halftime, anything, after games. It's fine if you don't have it. I just
not. It's funny you say that. Really, not as a coach, no.
Okay.
As a player, I wouldn't wash my uniform after a win. My jersey stunk like shit. It was like, bro, you can like drop it on the ground and shatter it. Like, that thing was gross.
Yeah.
So as a player, yes, wouldn't wash my uniform after wins, and I had a Reese's cup at halftime. I don't know why, that was just my thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, as a player, yes. As a coach, not so much.
Okay. And the last one I have, this isn't even one of the ones I had. It was just a thought I had right now. So if, let's just say, any high school, but really more specifically Freehold Township, if a gig, open spot for a head coach was available, would you take it?
Yeah.
Even with all the broadcasting and stuff?
No. The only thing that I would ever do is help here however I can. This is the only high school that I want to coach at.
So if the head coach was here, you'd take it?
Would I put my name in? Sure. But Smith's not going anywhere.
No, yeah.
I don't want to coach with anybody else but these guys.
Yeah.
I would go to war with this group in any. I don't care if we're playing tennis. You know, these guys and this school mean more than the game itself and any, you know, coaching availability job that I had. If the job opened up at Marlboro tomorrow, I wouldn't take it. If a job opened up at Manalapan, I wouldn't do it. If the CBA job opened up, I wouldn't go for it.
Wow.
I want to win here.
I get
so
it.
bad.
The loyalty.
So bad. I want to win with Coach Smith now as the head coach more than I want to breathe. Like, I want to win here. It means everything to win here. Now, if it was beyond high school, if it was a coaching and college opportunity, sure. I got an opportunity to reach out to a coach who's looking to hire someone, you know, over the last couple of weeks, and I've been mulling, you know, whether or not I want to pursue an opportunity like that. And then you said it though. No, there's not a basketball job that would be me worth giving up where I'm at right now as far as broadcasting goes.
Okay.
Like, because I'm thinking of it big picture. I've been on the road only for like 2 years now, going to all these cool games. Within that 2 years, I got on TV once, and not for nothing, I'm confident enough to say I think I did a pretty good job with it. I am having conversations with people about getting more opportunities. I'm regularly calling football games across the state of New Jersey. I'm putting myself in a position to have everything that I've ever wanted. If I stop now, you ever see that meme of the guy like mining for diamonds? The one dude like turns around and the other guy keeps on going. If you saw it, you know what I'm talking about. It's almost like if I quit now, I would regret it the rest of my life. So like I need to see
It's exactly how it is. Yep.
Need to see this through. And until somebody looks me in the face and says, no, you suck, I'm going to stay after it.
For you, Golub and Smith, and even Mr. Mel that I'm close with a lot, actually, like I could confidently say that if I were to ask him, he would help me out. And he has for gigs at for like the short conference championship. He got me a gig there, so shout out to him. But making the schedule, like, was it strategic? Certain teams you want to play, and you just said it earlier, like all the competition that you decided to play against and stuff. Like.
Right. Yeah. So we, the coaches and the SECA all have an input on who we play each season, and it's a lot that goes into it because the state playoff bracket is determined by power points. So like playing certain teams will get you a certain amount of points, and that determines your seeding in the playoffs.
Okay.
So like you have to schedule some pretty decent teams to rack up power points to get a higher seed and hopefully a home game in the state tournament, right? It also goes into like how good you think you're going to be this in any given season. So like, this is not like a shot at anybody, but like I said, like we want to play Wall, we want to play.
Squan.
I don't know. Like Squan, RBC. We want to play those teams because they expect to be good. So the better teams that we beat, the more power points we'll have. Like beating somebody who won 2 games last year doesn't do much for us in the power points and the seeding. And obviously, like just confidence and being competitors, you want to play against better teams.
Yeah. Man, I forgot what I was gonna say. It had to do something with the schedule, man. I just brought it up. I'm gonna think about this, and this was a good one. All right, so hold on. My last question was about strength of schedule. Let me try and think. It had to do something with the schedule, man. Man, I forgot it. It had to do something with just like from you guys facing good teams. Like, man, it was right there. Maybe you can help me out. What was the last question I asked? Do you remember?
What goes into making our schedule? Do you pick your schedule? You said.
Yeah. Oh, bro, this one was
decide your schedule.
Yeah, this one was so good, man. I do not like when this happens. Is it about
anybody that we're gonna play or somebody that we?
W Coach Burns, bro, yo. So all right, so do you know the schedule already? Like it's super early. Like you guys made the schedule already?
Probably should know this answer. I know some of the teams that we're gonna play and some of the teams that we're seeking to play.
Oh, so it's not finalized yet. Okay.
It might be online. I should know this.
So if it's online, it's public then.
Yeah.
Oh, so do you know who they're playing opening night or Township or no?
Not yet. I know we got
Should be a
workouts
big one, though.
tomorrow. That's where my focus is.
Summer workouts, yeah. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. I know some of the teams that we want to play. Like we're gonna. I think we're playing Manasquan again.
Okay.
So we're gonna run it back versus them. We want RBC again. Yeah, I don't know if that's the right wording or whatever. We're gonna play RBC again. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Our schedule is gonna be even tougher this year than it was last year. I'll tell you that.
Oof. Yeah, last year they had some tough ones. Even myself, when I saw certain games, I was like, damn, like Manasquan, Wall.
Yeah, man. Hopefully we learn from it. Hopefully we have a better understanding of what it takes to win those
schedule,
games.
bro.
That's why we play them.
Oh, yeah. Let me pull it up right now, just so I could tell people my perspective.
Yeah, look up our schedule this year. I'll do the same.
You could do this year. I do last year, because last year, let me just tell you, when I looked at this schedule, I was in absolute, like, not really shocked, but like, so RBC opening night, that was something. And then the WOBM, you can't really predict that. However, I will say with the Jackson Township game, a lot of people favorite Jackson, and a lot of people were supposedly expected to pull up to that game. That's why they had that at an 8 p.m. start, but nobody really showed up, which is unfortunate. But that game is the single most game where I was in complete shock. I was in complete shock when they just put Jackson away. It was just like, it was wild. It was literally wild.
Yeah, that was a fun game.
Yeah.
That was the game where
What was the game plan going into that?
Whoa.
There was definitely double team Geo, that's for sure.
We didn't have to, though. It was Dakota. Dakota locked him up. Dakota absolutely handled him.
Yeah, Manasquan.
He was probably the only person to do it all season long, too.
Wall, Mid-South.
Yeah, the game plan.
Honestly, I mean, yeah, last year was pretty tough. But now that I'm looking at it, obviously after the season's over, it's like toughest teams I would say were, Wall. I guess you could say the rival schools, Manasquan and Mid-South, stuff like that. I mean, I will, and then with the playoffs, you can't really, I will say the game against Howell at home when Caden dropped 30, so there's really not much you could really do there. That was a crazy game.
Yeah, that was a fun one.
But I'm going to ask you about that, actually. That was another question I had. But so yeah, Mid-South, I think. All right, yeah, so 2 more questions. I'm going to cut out certain parts so that this episode can be shorter. So 2 more questions about this schedule now that I'm looking at. So you have the loss against Howell on the road when Jack missed the 3 at the end, but you guys, that just slipped away. Everybody knows that you guys should have won that game.
We didn't have Cole either.
Exactly. And then the one at home.
But again, Howell was good, man.
Yeah, but not much you could do with the home when they
awesome.
Dropping 30.
Well, he's such a good dude. Coach Emery is the man. That if there was anybody that I would like to coach with that's not at Freehold Township, he fits right in with us, like personality-wise and competitive-wise. Coach Ramsey is a good dude.
I will say this is a question that I'm honestly might put as the top of the clip. I had this question even during the season because I was there. I seen this struggle take place, downhill, and you guys managed to pick it back up. But the week of from January 8th until January 20th against Manasquan, or it started versus Howell on the road, Manasquan at home, SJV at home, Wall at home, Mid-South at home. You guys managed to beat SJV from the John O'Neill buzzer beater, but then losing 4 out of the 5. Like, what was that stretch of games like? And 4 of them were at home, so 4 straight. Like, that was something that I was shocked about because it's like home court advantage, slipping. So, like, I'm sure you guys have talked about that as coaches, but was that a rough stretch, the roughest stretch, I'm assuming, during the season?
Yeah, and I touched to it a little bit earlier about how Cole is really that guy that kind of makes everything go for us. And, I mean, you kind of saw it there. The ball stopped moving a little bit more than it had. That's just another leader, another person with 2 years of varsity experience. Like, Cole brings a lot to the table.
You think Amari had a lot of shoes to fill when he played the point guard role?
Amari's got his own role. Okay. We love Amari for what Amari does, not for what we want him to do that somebody else does. It's got nothing to do
That's
with
true.
it.
That's true.
It's just Cole is somebody that involves everybody, and he does so much, and we lose a lot on offense and on defense without him. That's not the only reason why. Obviously, the guys that we also have are capable, and we wish that we had done a better job. But that's just going to happen sometimes when you face adversity and the schedule that we play, and there's a million different things that go into it.
It's crazy you say that because I think that next game against Manalapan when you guys won, Cole came back.
Yep. Played with
Yo, that is actually crazy. Yo,
yeah.
He is spot on, bro.
Yeah.
What? Yo. Nah, he was really a big loss. I was shocked.
Yep.
No, as somebody
but
that
honestly, I think the same would have happened if anybody had gotten injured.
Yeah,
it could have been John, and we would have fallen off. It could have been Jay. When I tell you that this team is truly the sum of its parts, that's not just, that's not my lawyer answer that I'm giving you.
Nah,
These guys are
he's
really
he's
a
not
good
trolling.
team when they play together.
Bro. Yeah, that was a lot of stuff happening this season. I can't wait to see what happens next season coming up. I guess you could say the last dance for the core five, but so the last thing before we end off is just words of wisdom, I like to call it, and so the camera will be panned on you, whatever. I know we've spoken about advice a lot, but to those out there watching, they could be doing anything. Just words of motivation, and I'll use this as a clip for sure. So
Sure.
but Manny, just make sure to pan it on, because this one, I do this for every guest. So
I'll give you the words that worked for me. If there's something that you want in life, if there's something that you're working towards, or if you're unhappy with your current situation, be as intentional as humanly possible. Assess yourself, assess your situation, your surroundings, the food that you're eating, the people that you're hanging out with, the drinks that you're drinking, the movies that you're watching, the music that you're listening to. Everything is your diet. So diet beyond food. Diet is everything that I just named, because you determine your quality of your own life. Life is happening for you, not to you, but you have to help yourself. So if you have friends that when you hang out with, all you do is stupid stuff and it's getting you further away from the person that you want to be, you need to have maybe some difficult decisions there and some difficult conversations and move further away from those friends. If you're unhappy with your body, maybe you need to go join a gym and you need to pay closer attention to what you're eating or how much you're eating. You need to start being intentional about the foods that you consume. It's really simple. It's really simple when you break it down as everything in your life is either helping you maximize your potential and being the best version of yourself, or it's hurting you and it's getting you further away from that. And your ultimate goal before you leave here should be to maximize your potential as a person and as a human being. So do things that help you and be intentional about it and be honest with yourself. That's all I got for you.
yes, sir. That was probably one of the better motivational speeches I heard for the podcast and show combined. So that'll pretty much do it, man. This is going to be something that not only do I look back on, because you'll know why I said that after this, but this was something I've wanted to do for a while, even towards the end of the school year. Because I've had this show in mind since February. Now it's just rolling out because of a lot of things, and I take Driven by Purpose, which is the athletes, very seriously as well. So I've been looking forward to this, and specifically you see why. You see Coach Burns' mindset and his mentality. It's just like, if I have a friend like that, that's all I want, honestly. So the utmost respect to you. Thank you for being a part of this, and
thank you for having
trusting me.
Seriously,
Yeah,
this is awesome. And thank you guys both for having me and even wanting to sit down and talk with me. Honestly, I'm just doing things that I care about, that I'm passionate about, looking for ways that I can give back to this community, which is why I'm coaching here, and I'm having fun along the way, and going after things that I want is, I don't know.
Yeah, man.
I don't know what's going to happen, how long I'm here. I might as well go try to do everything that I wanted to.
Yeah, every day's not guaranteed. And I'll say this live on camera, just so people know, if this doesn't work out, I'm trying, and obviously I got to reach out too.
It will. Don't even.
No.
Don't even
I was gonna say.
Don't even put it in your brain.
With two things. One, if like, in terms of a mentor, he is someone that's younger. It's me, meaning he's someone that you would want. And two, please, and I'm gonna reach out to him. Even if he says no, it's fine. But if you could find me some sort of opportunity to showcase, whether it's this to people or just my media, recording and editing in general, I would take that offer instantly, because I know you have people that and things like that, and it'd be, even for you, like I could record your behind the scenes stuff, whatever, like I would really consider that. So that's just me throwing it out there. You could think about it, but
yeah, there's nothing to think about.
was nothing to think about.
We'll talk with the lights off. That sounded paused. That sounded crazy. We'll talk when the
the Township guys are gonna laugh at that one.
That was crazy.
Nah. And then also, hopefully we can run it with Coach Smith or Coach Davies. That would be something. That one, I might be even more nervous for that one than this. No, I'm just kidding. It's easy for me at this point. I know people may say, oh, like it's getting way easier, the speaking part and all that. So, but anyway, that'll do it, man. Thank you guys. Shout out to Coach Burns. And by the time this gets released, I probably would have already posted the trailer for John's doc, and he's gonna be a part of it. So stay tuned for that as well. But thank you guys for tuning in. Again, shout out to Coach Burns, and that'll do it, man. Thank you to Manny behind the camera for helping me out. I won't need a filmer once I get my second camera, but I appreciate you guys filming. So shout out to him, and that'll do it, man. Thank you guys.
Thank you guys. Appreciate you.